Yes, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are joining me. It's Friday Night Football Club on Gun Football. Thank you, guys. Another beautiful Friday, the 9th of May, 2025. Thank you, guys, for joining. Thank you. So, we have a lot of things actually lined up today. We go talk about the Flying Eagles, talk about the Falconets, talk about the other 17, the Golden Eaglet, also talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria as usual. So, guys, let me know where you're joining from. Let me know where you're joining from. Like the video, share the video. Tell others that we are live this wonderful Friday night. Tell others it's going to be it's loaded today. I can assure you that we're going to have a very good time. So, as you are joining, guys, please like the video and share with your friends too. Like the video, and tell your friend that we are live this wonderful Friday night. Tell your friend. I want to appreciate you too, the new subscribers. Thank you. Watching from Honduras, thank you for joining. I like it. Watching from Honduras, thank you. And those on YouTube, those on Instagram, please, you can make your way. Go on YouTube, go and join us there. And as you join the video, just like the video and tell your friend too that we are live this evening. So thank you guys for your love. So let me know where you're joining from. Let me know where you're joining from. Tell others, share the video, share the video. We have 21 people, 22 people watching, and there's like 5 likes. 24 people watching now, 5 likes. Guys on YouTube, please, on Instagram, please go on YouTube and go and join Advanced Football 2 on YouTube. So, guys, I'm going to start, today. There's this popular adage, I always say it every Friday, that charity begins at home. So I'm going to start on the home front. So Lumide from Houston, thank you for joining. Julius from London, thank you for joining. I have a lot of London people watching this day. When I see the stats, America, London, thank you guys for your love. I really actually would appreciate you. Without you, I won't be here. I have to be honest with you about that. It's your love and everything that actually still they take us here. So let me just tell you that I'm going to start on the Super Falconets. So another year, another World Cup coming, next year. So the qualifiers will start. These will start. So Nigeria will face the winner between Zimbabwe and Rwanda. So in the second round, then the winner will not. I think we have 2 more rounds to play for under 20 World Cup qualifiers. It's going to be next year. So, but the qualifiers will start and it probably in about 2 months' time. So, I'm just telling you because Zimbabwe and Rwanda will play this weekend. So, the winner between Zimbabwe and Rwanda will face Nigeria in a two-legged tie. I think one is going to be played in Kenya. So I think it's going to be in Kenya. I think the Kenya is the adopted home now for our female national team. So that is actually what that. Another news again from the also about women football is that our women's national team too, the Super Falcons, they'll be playing Cameroon in a two-legged tie. One at the Johnson Stadium, and the other match is going to be at the Remo Stadium in Kenya. So at least that's against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. So this is going to be like a dress rehearsal, like a friendly game just before the tournament. Cameroon did not qualify for that tournament. So that means that, we're still facing them. Cameroon got knocked out of that tournament of the qualifiers by Kenya. So, but still, we still have to face them because I don't think they could like lay their hand on any of those friendly games. So we're going to play Cameroon in Kenya and also in Lagos. Shout out to Kunle Shoname. It's been fantastic for the team for Nigerian football for him to be able to accommodate, our female national team, without allegedly collecting any money from the NFF, is fantastic. And I really actually would like the man. So thank you for supporting our Nigerian football. I really actually would appreciate you for that. So our Falcons will play against Cameroon in I think in June. It's gonna be towards the end of May, then to June. I think we'll have one game June 4, one May 30. So against Cameroon. So before we play the WAFCON in July. So that is that on the Super Falcons. At least the last two windows were not active, but the NFF looked for something just to get things around. At least I think they organized this one. So just to make support this team. That's the most important thing. So that's just that. So that's that on the Super Falcons. So let me just talk about another news that came out today. Not today, I think about 2 days ago. So it's also about the WAFU. So I told you, if you have been following this channel, I told you about WAFU A and B boys tournaments. So we're having what? WAFU A and B together now. It's not WAFU B. So we're having what? WAFU A and B together. Under 20, it's going to be in Ghana 2025. So we'll be hosted on the 15th to 30th of what? Of June 2025. And I don't know how they want to do it, but it's just very close. Immediately the boys finish the under 20 AFCON, they have to play this tournament. So it's going to be in Ghana between June 15 and also to June 20. So it's going to combine Cape Verde, Gambia, Mali, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Guinea, Mauritania, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Benin Republic, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, and Togo. So both WAFU A and B combined together to play this tournament. I think I like it that way. It's going to be more competitive. A lot of people will actually watch. We want to actually watch this. When you see Senegal, Mali playing, it's going to be big. And kudos to Ghana too. They'll be hosting at the University of Ghana Sport Complex in Accra. So it's going to be a massive event. So we hope that it live up to us to expectation. So that is that. And kudos to organizers too for them coming together, because West Africa, we are one. So when they were doing WAFU A and WAFU B, I was like, it's good for administrative purposes. But now that we want to combine them together and play this tournament, I really like that. This one it will be more difficult than playing AFCON under 20, because the teams you see here, all of them are stronger. They are very strong teams. So it's going to be more competitive than playing WAFU, than playing under 20 AFCON. So June 15, mark it on your diary. So see, this May, June is action-packed for Nigerian football. Action-packed. The Falcons will be playing. Nigeria will be playing on the 28th against on the 28th, 30 June friendly. There's the Club World Cup. There's under 20 WAFU A and B. It's loaded. Just enjoy yourself and just mark it on your diary and find time to actually watch one of these games. So that is that on the WAFU A and B tournament that will take place in Ghana. So talking about WAFU again. So 3 days ago, WAFU released is it 2 or 3 days ago? They released the timetable for this year's tournament. So I'm going to actually share the timetable with you now. So it's that WAFU A and B, I just showed you there, 15th to 30th of June 2025. The Women's Champions League for WAFU B alone will be August 9 to 24 in Ivory Coast. August 9 to 24 in Ivory Coast. So currently now, they are playing the Super 8. I mean, it's the Super 6 Nigeria. the Women's Premier League, the winner of the Super Six will represent Nigeria this tournament, the WAFU B Women's Champions League in Ivory Coast. The third tournament there is going to be what? Under 17. It will take place in Nigeria. Hey, finally, Nigeria, we are hosting. So, under 17 boys will take place in Nigeria. So, and I've been saying this that I want Nigeria to host under 17 boys because I believe that if we host this thing, it's going to give us an advantage to even play in front of our people and everything. So I'm happy that the under 17 will take place in Ikene, Remo, Ogun State, and also the newly renovated Abeokuta MK Abeokuta Stadium in Ogun State. So I was saying it with one of my friends here, Amo, that I'm thinking that Nigeria will host the 17 qualifiers, and I'm happy that is happening, in Nigeria. So this is a challenge now for Manugaba and his crew that we must qualify now. So, and it's not far. It's in September 11 to 25. So it's going to be happening in the backyard here, and I hope that we also make good use of it. So that's actually what that. So, and yeah, that is that, guys. Don't forget to leave super chat. Super chat there. Don't forget to leave super chat. Please click on it. Leave super chat. We take your comments. Guys, I have my gift as here. Yeah, troop it. Drop something. So if it's anything, just touch your drop. Just support our work. That's the most important thing. So I'm happy that it's taking place in Nigeria. So at least we have this. We have Sporting Lagos Academy, Beyond the Mill Academy. We have Malvern. Let them go and bring their players. Let them come for like 2 months in Ekene. At least that one will help us small, And I believe that this time around, Nigeria will qualify for the under 17. See, under 17 AFCON. If we qualify from WAFU B, Nigeria will go to the World Cup. That is it. So what will happen is that there's only 2 teams that will qualify because our people who represent us now, they didn't really do well in the last under 17 championship. So we are not getting extra slots. So except maybe Ivory Coast would like to host the next under 17. But because I don't think we are hosting WAFU B. So if we are not hosting and there's no defending champion in WAFU B, we're going to be having only 2 slots. So that's the reason why only 2 is guaranteed now. So we have to qualify for the final before we can be sure of playing at the under 17 World Cup that will take place in Qatar next year. One will take place this year. It's going to be yearly now. It's going to be an annual competition. So that is that. So I'm happy that the guys hosting. So number 4, WAFU B Women's Cup. That is the first time it's going to be in Benin Republic too. Why? As far qualifiers, that's going to be in Burkina Faso. So yeah, that is going to be the African School Football Competition. It's going to be Burkina Faso. Let me just talk about this school competition. See, this school competition is about under 15. Why can't Nigeria present under 15 for this tournament? In the fighting, the winner will be taking about 30 million, I said 30, $200,000. Why can't we present a team that can just represent us in this school championship? So for me, I think we're gonna actually I think we should. I will talk to people that I know in the NFF. They need to present men and women team to this school championship. It's so interesting. I watched the last one in Ghana. It was so interesting. We need to present a team this time around. So that is that on this thing. Thank you. So yeah, on the Shell Cup, I agree with you. So thank you. We go back. So after this, we're gonna move on to our under 20 issue. Under 20 matter. Thank you, guys. So thank you again for actually joining. So before I move on to our under 20, let me just talk about just a few minutes ago, FIFA actually what announced that there's going to be expanded Women's World Cup. So, as you know, the next competition will take place in Brazil in 2027. So, it's going to be expanded Women's World Cup. It's going to be from 32. Now, we're going to be having what? 48 teams at the FIFA Women's World Cup. So, and, last time around, 4 African teams actually played at the Women's World Cup. But, you know, I think I'm not really sure how many slots will be going to Africa, but based on what I've been hearing, I think we might be having we might be having probably 8 slots from Africa. So that means that all the quarterfinalists of the women's what's it called? Women's WAFCON in Morocco next year might probably qualify for the World Cup. So that is good news. So I don't think there's going to be drop in quality. The countries in Africa, they are improving. For example, now, can you count 8 teams that can do well, or 6 to 8 teams that can do well for Africa? For me, I think Nigeria can do well. I think Nigeria can do well. I think Zambia, very good team. Zambia can do well. I think Morocco can do well. I think Cameroon, can perform well. South Africa can do well. I think Ghana, maybe Ghana can do well. So not bad. So I can count 6 actually, but Asia and Zambia. I think Morocco did well last time around. John Jones. I think Morocco did well last time around. So it's going to be expanded Women's World Cup. So I'm happy that they are doing that. They want it to be like a big carnival too, like the Men's World Cup. They're trying to balance this gender thing. Men and women. Just like they said, because the Men's World Cup too is actually expanded. So because the Women's World Cup is expanded, the Men's World Cup is actually full. So Men's World Cup expanded. So I think that they are trying to balance it out so that you will see that they're not taking care of the women. So that's why I think they are trying to do this. So yeah, I wish Nigeria qualify, which I think will qualify. I just hope that the quality won't be seeing 7-0, 8-0. For example, now if Spain play against Senegal in the quarter in the Women's World Cup, you'll be expecting that there's going to be like there's going to be a lot of the scoreline is going to be wide scoreline. So in my opinion, I just think that it might probably actually you know be water than the competition. That's my take on that. But I'm happy. I'm happy. So if Spain, Ethiopia, yes, it might probably actually be this thing. So that is that. About the Women's World Cup. So now let me just go direct to our under 20 and talk about them. So it's no longer news again. It says 2 teams. Yes, I think they want to change it. So it's no longer news again that Nigeria qualified for the quarterfinal of the ongoing AFCON under 20 tournament that will take place, that is already taking place in Egypt. Nigeria drew 2-2 against the shining stars, the rising stars of Kenya. So Kenya took the lead through penalty. The first 5 minutes, Nigeria equalized through Marobu Ariri before Kenya took the lead to a very defensive mistake before Nigeria equalized from the spot through their captain, Daniel Bemayi. So for me, it ended 2-2, and Nigeria finished second in that group. So Morocco topped the group, Tunisia finished third, while Kenya finished last in that group. So with this, Nigeria will face Senegal, the defending champions, in the quarterfinal at 1 p.m. Nigerian time on Monday. It's going to be a very tough game. The Senegal have not been good in this tournament, but don't tell they have experience. So if they can conjure results. So for me, I think it's going to be a very tough game. So guys, at 1 p.m. On Monday, the game watch will take place 1 p.m. on Monday. Nigeria against the Junior Lions of Senegal. So yeah, let me just talk to you slightly about what I should observe in that game before I move on to Super Eagles matter. Super Eagles matter. Um, so this is like for me, when I look at the game very well, I just realized that I rate the coach highly. Coach Ali Zubeiru, former coach of Academy Warriors, he won the FA Cup for Academy Warriors against Aqua United, against Abia Warriors also 2 years ago. Playing the continent. But when I look at this, this and the guys I put my blue ticks on, like I circled in blue, that the defenders, look at the position of look at how they are positioned, look at where they are, the Nigerian defenders. Just look at the the position. It's comical. It's actually what comical, but that was how we considered the first penalty, and one is in Shokoto, other one is in Lagos, one is in Kaduna, another one is in Port Harcourt. Is really really bad. This is like shambolic defending. So so it led to this penalty. The guy on the far right there could not recover properly. So when he came, he just ended up in like a penalty. And that's why the man said that we need to be able to I just think that for me, I thought they might teach them to put their hands on the back when they're trying to when they want to defend a shot like this. The boy made himself bigger. That was how that thing was awarded as a what? As a penalty. So he made himself bigger. So a lot of people have been arguing that he's on the line. No, 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 no. The boy made himself bigger, and the referee was right to award that penalty, and that was it. So and yeah, another one that I want to talk about. So the guy was Benjamin Shuku. He was formerly of Grasshopper FC, but he now plays in Germany for Offenham under 19. So Anna, this was a very good move by Parobo Ariri. It's like probably the best player in this team. Parobo Ariri, good player, good player. You can see the way he moved. That was a good pass from Cletus Simon, the under 17 captain. That was a good pass from him. He saw the run, and gave him a good pass, and the rest they say is history. So I'm really happy the way Parobari is progressing. And if he develops for like a year or so, a year or two in Norway, Parobari might be going for a big transfer. Very good striker. He knows where to be. I like his run, the way time is strong, fantastic player. So it's a guy for the future. He might be going for a don't be surprised to see Parobari in the Premier League very soon. But let's wait and see. Let's see how it develops. So this was another comical defending from Nigeria Flying Eagles. This was I don't know, the guy I put in blue there on the far right. That was Kingsley. That was Jefta. Was it Kingsley Jefta also? The guy played for Enyimba in the MPFL. He's the most experienced player in this team. He played the continent for Enyimba, played in the MPFL for Enyimba. But I don't know what he was thinking. That was horrible, horrible defending. I don't know what he was thinking. The guy was there on his blind side. So can you see? The guy just moved past him. That's the second move. He just moved past him, and he was now saying he was offside. he just moved past him. That was like poor. For me, I just think that Alice Zuberi did not really cover himself in glory here. I think that it was horrible coaching too. You can see that guy moved past him, and yeah, that was how he scored. So this was the last opportunity missed by by Nigeria. That was by Divine Olise. He had the time in the whole world to place this ball. I don't know what he was thinking. That this one was around the 88 minutes or so, maybe 88 or 89 minutes of play. Parubo really did a very good job. Passed to the Olise. The Olise had a defender and keep. No, I think a goalkeeper to beat, and he just ballooned it over the bar. So I just think that the guy, this Divine Olise, the boy need to go and change his name, because the Olise way we know is not like this Olise. It's not like this Olise. He needs to go and change his name. For me, it was horrible. I think it was horrible. Some of these guys are not good enough. So I don't know the reason why they got into the national team, but let's see. I don't know how they actually got to the national team. I just think that some players did not deserve to be here. So that is that. They are not really good. I agree with you, Paul, Oloidi. Those guys are not really good. Some of these guys are not really good. So in my own opinion, I don't know why and how they actually missed this opportunity. So for me, all these guys will end up playing the MPFA, in my opinion, or maybe probably play in Bangladesh or Pakistan, or I don't think for in fact, raw intelligence, some of these guys don't show that, and it's just so sad that this is where we find ourselves. There's going to be a conversation later in the show, about what we should do with our national team, and I'm going to talk about that conversation now very quickly. So that is actually what that. Before we go to our transfer news, let me just try and finish the under 17, under 20 matter. So I'm going to play a video now. So this video is courtesy of what? Omar Katuba, Omar Sports TV. I don't owe any rights to this video. So it's from Omar Sports TV. I hope I have it here. It's from Omar Sports TV. Omar Katuba, and Yabi journalist, interviewed the Chuba Akpo. And this is what Chuba Akpo has to say.
Hi, Chuba. Like Shino asked, in 2019, you declared your allegiance for Nigeria. But between then and now, we've not heard you being called up to the Super Eagles. What do you think is the reason?
I don't have a clue. Maybe there's a lot of good strikers, of course, but I think for the nation to progress, it needs to be on merit, the players that perform.
Before they invite you to play underage, it's not as if these guys they don't have that, they just want to play for the other country. But what they're trying to say basically is that Nigeria doesn't even consider them when they were playing youth football in England. So it's not as if they ignored Nigeria. That's what he said. So now, when I send a link, I share the link. Part of what I will ask you is this: with what we see in this current under 20, do you think we should start inviting foreign born to compete with these boys? What is the benefit? Do you think we should start inviting foreign born to what? To come and compete with these boys? Do you think we should? Because at the end of the day, if you look at these things now, no matter where they born you, as much as you identify as a Nigerian, you are a Nigerian. You are a Nigerian. So we have to look at our talent pool. What is the point of waiting till they break to their first team and call them again and start struggling? If they are good enough, they can play. For example, now, Morocco had the chance to call this boy, to call Lamine Yamal to under 17. I think it was 14 then. But they were just waiting for him to develop more. At 15, he could not play for Morocco again. That was how Morocco lost Lamine Yamal. That was how Morocco lost Lamine Yamal. So what should we do on this matter? Let me know your thoughts. Guys, you were about 70, 73, watching the video, 65 now. Like the video. Then if you think that you like us a lot, you support us a lot, you want to contribute towards our AFCON program, You can also drop super chats. There's a dollar sign there that is blinking. There's a dollar sign that is blinking. Try click on the dollar sign. Any amount you think, if it's $1, put it there. Join. If it's $1,000, you can put it there. Join us. Let's actually you can contribute. You can put it there. Any amount will actually you are welcome. You are welcome. Any amount you actually welcome. But if you don't think you want to support, you can just click on the like button and actually like the video. So that's on this. So I will ask that question. Do you think we should start inviting foreign born players for our underage? Because at the end of the day, we still need to call them. Look at it now. 6 out of 11 players in our starting 11 not born in Nigeria. Nobody in Nigeria. About 6 of them, nobody in Nigeria. So what's the point of delaying it? You're going to call them again. What's the point of saying, I can't just bring them early now? Because for me, the guys we see here, they are not as good as, I don't see anything in these guys. Maybe 16. So let me know. Guys, there's also that like button there. Like the video. If you cannot like the video, if you want to do more, click the sign. We appreciate everything. If you are on Facebook, I can see some people on Facebook here, and you also want to support us, there's a star there. You can actually click on that star. Click on the star. By the star, you also get it. Actually you can actually support us with that. If you're on Facebook too, you want to support us, you can try and see that a lot of people can actually watch us live on Facebook. So those on Instagram now, I'll be leaving Instagram. So this Tosity, don't worry. This Tosity, what are you doing on Instagram, Tosity? That's my man it's from Scotland, so he's always on Instagram. I know that he wants me to come and chase him there. That's the reason why he's actually on Instagram. Don't worry, I don't come for you again. So chase you on Instagram. Yeah, go on YouTube. Go and actually join on YouTube. Then forgot you on YouTube. Go and join. So guys, when I bring you on, I will ask you just questions. Do you think that we should start including our foreign born players now? Imagine Adama Lukman already played for Nigeria at under 20, so it won't be easy for him to integrate to the Super Eagles. So instead of trying to wait for them to be big stars, I think that we can actually we can bring them in early, so that at the end of the day, it's going to also benefit all of us too. That's my take on that. So that is that on our under 20. So I was asking questions about that. Let me know your thoughts. So yeah. So guys, the Unity Cup. So I'm going to just talk about the Unity Cup quickly now. So thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you guys. Welcome back. Let's move on now. Let's move on to Super Eagles of Nigeria. So we're going to talk about, before I go to Super Eagles of Nigeria, I think let's talk about transfer news. Before I move on to Super Eagles of Nigeria, in take up matter, we want to talk about transfer news. Transfer news about Nigerian players. So these are our transfer section. Transfer news about Nigerian players. Guys, if you want to put your comment on the screen here, you have a question, you want to discuss it, guys, click on that super chat so I can discuss your question. Click on the super chat. Buy star on Facebook. If you buy star on Facebook, I will see it here. I'll discuss you. So that's it. If you want to do this, so I have to start with a particular player that Nigeria likes, a lot. So that's actually what Victor Osimhen. So a news that came out yesterday's last 2 days ago, is that Victor Osimhen, is Liverpool and Slot, the current Premier League champion. They are looking in his direction to sign Victor James Osimhen. So their first choice actually is that they want to see if they could tempt Newcastle to sign Alexandra Isak, but they are looking at Victor Osimhen. And Victor Osimhen used to be their first choice before, but the problem, according to BBC, is that is the wage demand of Victor Osimhen. So they don't want to unsettle the dressing room. So they just want to, they want to cap the wage and everything. I don't know how they want to do that, but Anslot believes that Victor Osimhen is target, and he actually wants to get him. So how will that one work? Let's actually wait and see. So that's actually what is coming from the Daily Mail, was in the UK papers 2 days ago, and also yesterday. Victor Osimhen, Liverpool looking for a way to get him. So that's actually what that about Victor Osimhen. So Victor Osimhen is not only linked to Liverpool, also linked to Chelsea, linked to Real Madrid, it's linked to Bayern Munich. I'm hearing that Man United might be trying to get Harry Kane. So if they get Harry Kane, that Victor Osimhen might probably be on the radar to sign for what? For Bayern Munich. So, a lot of clubs, there will be transfer merry-go-round this summer. I'm expecting some movements too. So every club have been listening to this offer. So I hope that Victor Osimhen I hope that this move materializes. I hope Victor Osimhen signs early. I hope Victor Osimhen signs what early, because he needs to start the transfer as soon as possible, so that at the end of the day, it can actually benefits us too, because if you go up preseason, it's gonna be fitter. So there's Chelsea, there's Man United, there is Liverpool, there's Barcelona, there's Real Madrid, there's even PSG, and also Bayern. Juventus is leading the race too. So I just wish Victor Osimhen the very best of luck. I want him to settle early, so that if he go preseason, he's fitter before South Africa game in September. We know that we are having our best man for the South Africa game in September, not that half fit Victor Osimhen, coming. So that is actually what that. So another player that will not go off our screen. I don't know. I'm not a Spanish-speaking player, but if you look at this thing, Xabi Alonso, if you are if you are from Spain here, or you are privileged to be bilingual, you can actually speak, more than English. You can speak English. You can speak what's it called? You can speak Spanish. You can realize here that Telefoot, is reporting in Spain that Xabi Alonso, he announced today that will be leaving Bayern Leverkusen, after 2.5 years. He announced today that he will be leaving. So he told Real Madrid that they should look for a way to sign a center forward. And his recommendation, one of them was Victor Boniface. One of them was actually was Victor Boniface. So if you know how to see this thing, one of them was Victor Boniface. I don't know, Victor Boniface. So I don't know how that marriage wants to continue, but they are reporting in Spain that he asked them to actually to get Victor Boniface. So, and I don't know. I try to interpret it, but I didn't know that. I tried to interpret it, but that's what is coming out from. So if people have been saying that it can be the new Karim Benzema, people have been saying that it plays like Karim Benzema. That is Karim Benzema left Real Madrid. That they have not been able to replace what Karim Benzema. It's a ball playing center forward and everything, but I have my doubts for that. Can he finish like Benzema? I don't know, but I just think that is he a top level player to play in to play for Real Madrid? But we'll wait and actually and see about that. So that is that coming from Spain. So if you want to screenshot and go and interpret it, but the summary of it all is that it's recommended Victor Boniface to be signed by Real Madrid. It's going to be coming at a very cheaper price, I think less than £50 million. So, and it's not really on this high bogus wage. So the financial fair play in Spain is very strict. So I think Victor Boniface can actually fit into the financial fair play. So yeah, that's actually what that's on it. I'm here hearing that's on it. Guys, like the video. We are 80 something here and we have 32 likes. Like the video. If you don't like the video, leave super chat. If you leave super chat and you don't like the video, say I'm okay. Just what I just want from you basically is that you should just like those videos. That's actually what I want from you. That is actually what that. So that's that on Victor Boniface. Wishing the very best of luck. I know he's going to move this summer, so that is sure. That is sure. He's going to move this summer, so that is actually what sure. He's going to move this summer. So that is that on Victor Okon Boniface. So another player that you'll be guessing the player now is also on the radar of top clubs in Europe, and is no other person but this guy, Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman is another player on the radar of top clubs in Europe. So another player that is gonna leave Atlanta this summer. There's no ifs or buts, about that. He's gonna actually leave Atlanta this summer. So yeah, it's a player that we look at. We're gonna be monitoring, very well to see exactly how this move actually materialize. He's going to be leaving this summer. So, and the new suitor I've been hearing is that Arsenal, Arsenal have been looking for a way to actually to sign him. Arsenal have been looking for a way to actually to sign him. So, so I think on the list they wanted Nico Williams. Thank you, Connect to God. They wanted what? They wanted Nico Williams to actually what? They wanted Nico Williams. But Lookman is also another option for Arsenal. So, and the report coming out from England is that they're really considering in case, the negotiation on Nico Williams did not really go well. So, different newspaper in England here, they are reporting that Lookman will be on the radar for Arsenal. So, Arsenal are looking for for someone I can compliment Bukayo Saka, in that forward line, and also buy a striker. So they are looking for a way to, to change the options up front too, and see exactly how they can actually compete. So thank you. So yeah, so that's actually what that's on the two of them. I wish Lukman the very best of luck. Thank you. So let me just take. I have after 40 minutes, 50 minutes. I have gifters now. Connect to God. Thank you for actually joining, and also Paul Oloidi. Thank you. I can see supporting me from Canada. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your love. I actually appreciate you. Thank you for your love. And also Paul Oloidi. Thank you. Thank you for your love. So thank you, guys. They don't open the floor now. Keep the super chats. Popping. Oh yeah, let's go to 20 super chats today. 20. Let's enter 20 super chats today. Oh yeah, give that. Let's enter 20 super chats today. Let's hit the target 20. We've gone this 2 out of 20. Let's hit 20. Like the video if you cannot do super chat, but like the video. So let's end that 20. So that is that. I wish Lukman the very best of luck. I really want him to move. He deserves something different, from Atlanta. So that is that on Adebayo Lukman. So that is that on our transfer, and on our transfer, and also that is that. So let's move on to Super Eagles story before I actually comment Super Eagles story. So before I'll be getting news about there being the reports. Okay, let me just explain this part for you very well, so that there's a player. His name is called Emmanuel Emeha. His father is Nigerian. His mother is from Togo. He was born in they gave birth to him in the Netherlands. So fantastic player. If you're a fan of Ligue 1, you will know this guy very well. He's a guy that openly confess. He's a typical African guy. If you have been following social media very well, you will know this guy. When he was talking to his families that they were late to his game, he already scored and everything. He was telling them, very guy. If you see the dressing room of Strasbourg, they are dancing to Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid. This is the guy behind everything. Emaya is a proud Nigerian. He has said that he wants to play for Nigeria, but because of the same thing that we are saying, they didn't give him any opportunity on that age. I told some people the last under-20 World Cup, I said that they should take this boy to the last under-20 World Cup. They could take this boy. I told people they should take this boy to the last under-20 World Cup. That this boy will solve the problem. He was playing in Austria then. This boy will solve the problem of scoring goals. Now, because of so bias and negative minds, they did not even look at his side. The boy is playing for Holland, but he's on the move to Chelsea. Chelsea are interested. Alternative for Victor Osimhen. They're looking to get him. Very good player, ball playing player. I'm also hearing that Eric Shell, the former Nigerian coach, no, he's going Nigerian coach. Abego, no Sakamo. The Eric Shell, watched him, met with his camp, about the possibility of playing for Nigeria. He's a player that nobody reached out to him. So they're looking for, Eric Shell is looking for a ball playing somebody that can complement Osimhen. Looking for just something different. I think the strikers that came to this last window did not really do well. So he's looking for different alternatives. So I'm hearing that he reached out to him, and the other player I'm going to show. So the purpose is not the World Cup qualifier. The purpose is the AFCON in Morocco later in the year. The boy, everything might not be ready before the World Cup qualifier. So the players and maybe probably some few others, few new players. Maybe if things happen fast, he might play the World Cup qualifier, but it's not likely. So the aim is to build a strong team for the AFCON towards the end of the year. So, and it's a guy that is everything about him is Nigeria. He's Nigeria. So he's been progressing well with the Dutch team. But since Nigeria is looking for a way to get him now, I know that Josh will look for, they'll be talking to him not to change his nationality. So, but for me, I think, he will play for Nigeria. That's all I just think. So that is what I might be seeing this guy to the Premier League playing for Chelsea. Very, very good player. Guys, check him out on YouTube. Very, very good player. Very good player. Dangerous player. Very, very good player. He was a teammate to Manuel Goye when they were together in Sparta Rotterdam in the Dutch league then. And they were good friends together. So if he's coming to Super Eagles now, he's not going to be lonely. He's having one of his best friends. Is the second choice of our national team, Manuel Goye. So they're going to be together. So good player. And that player that was stretched out to was this guy. Like I said, not now, for the future. So this guy is a left-footed striker. And, it's one of the things that he's looking forward to, a left-footed striker. So it's not for the immediate now. It's for him to know that they are looking at him, that he might be called up. In fact, this guy might be called up very soon, earlier than Emmanuel Emeha. It's not for him to come and take a claim now, but to know that we know what you are doing. You are part of our plans, and you can actually play. He watched him. He went to watch him, and I think he met with him too. When he went to Monaco to watch Monaco. I'm talking about Eric Shell. So when you say French now, they know themselves. So maybe probably what they discuss. I don't know what they discuss, but for him to go and watch him, he will not go and tell him to go and play for Mali now. This guy is not from Mali. He will tell him about the Nigerian project, about what he wants to do. He's really desperate because I don't know. Maybe Tolaro Kodare, Victor Boniface, Sadiq Kumar did not do well in camp. That's the reason why he's looking for an alternative and that player that can complement Victor Osimhen. So that's why this guy is coming to the conversation. His name is George Ilenikena. He plays for AS Monaco. He has been badly injured this summer, this season. He's not been playing on a regular basis, but talent cannot be denied. I spoke to someone that was his teammate before, that knows him very well. The person said that this guy go be machine, to tell you, how highly rated the guy was. Injury slowed him down, and I hope that he can recover fully for next season and be on top of his game. That's actually what George Ilenikena. Another player that might probably even be on the roster for this window is actually it's called Rafiu Durosimi. This guy does not need to change any nationality. He has never played for Nigeria at any age grade level before. He was born in Nigeria. I don't think he has any passports apart from Nigerian passports. So he plays in the Czech league for Victoria Plzeň. So in the Czech league, been very good in the Europa League since he came back from his maybe 18 months injury layoff or so. So he's been very good. And he's also on the radar of some top European clubs too, like Lazio, Brighton, Wolverhampton Wanderers. So he might be in the Unity Cup, but time will actually will tell. It's also being monitored too, and hearing that he's going to be leaving Czech Republic very soon. So when he leaves Czech Republic very soon, and I think that that one will also help him to develop his game. So that is Rafiu Durosimi for you. So, and it's another player that we might probably watch out for in this transfer window. Let's see exactly, how the move actually will pans out for him too. So I also wish him actually the very best of luck. I hope that the move that he's planning for, he narrowly missed on the move to German league. When he failed the medical. So I think this time around, I expect that move to actually work, to say true. So that is that. I'm going to put the link, the chat quickly. It's 1 hour, so I don't want to be too guys. If you want to speak quickly, if you want to join us today, if nobody joins too. Thank you, my gifters. Thank you for your love today. I really actually appreciate you. Good night to God. And Paul Oloidi, thank you for your love. So yeah. So I put the link here already. So now to different Super Eagles matter again. To different Super Eagles matter again. Let's look at different Super Eagles matter again. So people have been asking me this question. Let me just address it once and for all, so that I won't keep on getting DMs, getting comments about it. So and I also I took people are saying, where is Africa this year? Trying to go take the points from South Africa. What is happening? They are doing mago and everything. Guys, just wait. So this is I'm just talking about based on the yellow card of Timo Mokwena. Like actually he was suspended, but he later played against Lesotho. So this is like from FIFA decision. So according to Article 51, paragraph 7 of the FIFA Institutional Code, the FIFA Secretariat publishes what decisions issued by FIFA judicial bodies, where such a decision contains what confidential information. FIFA may decide ex officio. So, in summary of it all, what they are doing is that if you look at the last line, say new decisions of FIFA this very committee are uploaded every 4 months, guys. Every 4 months. The last update was 1st February 2025. The next update is going to be June 1st, 2025. And as I'm hearing everything, they don't do everything. So it's just for them to publish it June 1st, 2025. So after June 1st, July, August, September, October again. So that is how the whole thing actually works. They don't want to start running from pillar to post, talking about these things. They don't want that. All they want is they want what? They want just to actually every 4 months, and they also make sure that they actually do it every 4 months. So any appeal now, for example, now South Africa going to appeal this decision, it's going to come in October. That is it. So so let me just talk about Unity Cup where I bring people on. So Unity Cup will take place again Wednesday 20th of May and also 31st of September of May 2025. So for me, I just think that there have been players that have been called up according to reports. I've been following MPFL. So according to reports, I'm hearing that some players have been called up. Let me just give you the list of players that have been called up. So the local-based player is going to be mixture of like local-based player and also foreign-based player for this window. So I don't think the home-based players will be part of the team that will play against Russia or in June, but they will play a prominent role in these first 2 games. The first player, Ahmed Musa of Kano Pillars, Nduka Junior of Raymond Stars, Ifeanyi Onyebuchi of Rangers, Sikiru Alimi of Raymond Stars, Isaac Xavier of Rangers, Papa Daniel of Niger Tornadoes, Waliu Ojetoye of Ikorodu City, Vincent Temitope of Plateau United, Adamu Abubakar of Plateau United, and Sadiq Ismail of Raymond Stars. Those are the players that have been called up in the local league. I'm hearing that 12 players will be called up in local league, but with the player I can see here, I can't see any goalkeeper being called up. And I'm hearing rumors that Stanley Nwabali have been dropped for this. They dropped Stanley Nwabali for this way, for this friendly game against Ghana, for this Unity Cup game. Sorry. So I don't know which goalkeeper that is trying to actually use for this Unity Cup. So that is that of the list of players. As soon as NFF drop the list, the official list, guys, I will actually I will let you know, about the official list. So, but for now, I think that is that on the list of players that I'm hearing that we called up. So compare, for example, now Plateau United said that their players are sorting out visa, so that 2 players got they're pressing their visa. They said that Adam Abaka and also Tobitope Vincent. So that tells you that the 2 players have been called up. So, and also to Kano players too, also confirmed that Ahmed Musa have been called up for the Unity Cup game that will take place this May. So those are the players that have been confirmed. They are this thing. Let's wait and actually see. So I think I have my first caller here. So guys, the link is there. If you want to actually join, let me know so I can be able to actually bring you on. Let me bring you. I don't think I have any stories to take again. So yeah, so that's my story for today. So now discussion. Don't forget this discussion about Flying Eagles and also some transfers. So IoT, thank you for joining me. So yeah, live now. So what's your take about what we discussed today?
Good evening. Good evening to everyone.
Yeah.
I've been listening to you. Great conversation and discussion all through. I think the one that I was laughing was where you said that Xabi Alonso has included Boniface among striker options. Because we've been talking so much about Boniface, about Alonso, about their relationship, what's going to happen. And, that's the thing. As football fans, as people in the media, no matter how much we think we know something or we know, you can never really know how the relationship is unless you're inside the locker room or you're there seeing these conversations. So as much as we might think, oh, maybe Alonso doesn't like him that much anymore, or he's benching him, he doesn't think. Who knows? Maybe Alonso actually likes him and he thinks that he's a player. Maybe he thinks he can fit into the system. Maybe he thinks, okay, he can be a nice backup to Mbappe. You never really know how these people are thinking about it. So I thought that was quite interesting. Boniface has spoken in the past about how his dream league is La Liga. He said he's not very good on the Premier League, that he likes La Liga. So I think it's still the same thing of, personally, I wouldn't want him to go to a team that he's going to be relegated to the bench, because unless maybe Alonso doesn't want to play Mbappe as a striker, but Vinicius Junior is on that left. So is he going to bench Vinicius for Mbappe? I don't see that happening. Is he going to play Mbappe on the right? Mbappe has never really been a player that plays from the right. So I don't really see that happening. So if Mbappe is still the number 1 striker and Boniface is going to be number 2, I don't know if I want to see him on the bench. But again, not everybody, the reality of life is that not every player is going to be a starter. Some people will have to be bench players, and you can be a solid bench player and you can still have a good career. So it depends on what he wants. Obviously, Real Madrid pay him money that nobody else is going to pay him. I think it depends on what the player wants, but it would be an interesting move. You can never see somebody going to Real Madrid and say, oh, they're making a bad move. Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. So if that is something that actually comes to fruition, It will be good. And if you people
but
think,
how will he fit into the team?
I mean, that's up to the coach to figure it out.
Because Real Madrid does not have any striker.
That's what I'm saying. Mbappe plays as their striker right now. So
and
maybe
he's not been good as a striker.
I mean, if you look at his numbers, how do you say he
Numbers
has
are
not
good,
been
but it's just that that point, man. Thibaut Courtois said something after the game against Arsenal.
said they were crossing too much.
But we don't have the guy. That guy was there before.
Yeah, they didn't have Jose.
Jose didn't have Jose. So I think he was trying to throw like a dig at what's it called at Mbappe that it wasn't available.
Oh, I think it was more a dig at. Excuse me. I think that was more actually a dig at Ancelotti than at Mbappe, because if you are crossing too much, is how the coach has asked them to play. It's not really Mbappe cannot turn himself into a 6'2" striker. Like it's just not possible. Many teams don't play with point men. You just have to kind of adapt your game to whichever person you have up front. And for me, if they decide to go with Boniface, I still think let's not deceive ourselves. Boniface cannot bench Mbappe. So it's all about adapting their game. And maybe when they need a different kind of player, they can bring Boniface on, or maybe when they're chasing a game, they can play two of them together. It will be interesting to see. I mean, right now it's still very early speculation, but I don't see any reason why it can't work. For me, my only hesitation is I don't know if I want him to go. He's a guy that has his career is on the up. His body career did well for Bayer Leverkusen. This year wasn't so great, but based on the little games and little time that he played, I think he had an average season. I just don't want to see him on the bench when I think he can still start for some other clubs, But when Real Madrid wants you, it's very hard to say no.
Yeah. Actually, was very hard to say no. So, guys, what do you think about that move too? Do you think that it's a good, because people have said that it's good with Benzema? Do you seem like in that mood of a Benzema type of player for Real Madrid? Do you see him in that type of mood of Benzema type of player?
Benzema type of player.
Yes.
No, there are different kinds of players.
They have not replaced Benzema that he can be the replacement.
Replacing Benzema doesn't necessarily mean that he and Benzema are the same kind. It just means somebody to come and fill that spot. But I think the similarity between Benzema and Boniface, the only similarity would be that they are both techie players. They are both players that can do tricks here and there, that can do a few things, but there are different kinds of strikers. Benzema is a very, very, very clinical striker, quality forward, good in the air. Even Boniface, if you compare him to Benzema, he will give you waka like he gave that guy on Twitter. He knows that he's not on that level. But for me, the reality of it is, me person no go Boniface will hear this one now, he'll start vexing for me like the other guy did. But the reality of it is that Boniface is not good enough to be Real Madrid starting striker. You think of the like Real Madrid is the Galacticos.
Yeah.
They have the biggest stars in the world.
So Boniface of last season is not good enough.
Of last season, no. Every player that plays for Real Madrid, you're either a world-class player. Every starter, you're either already a world-class player or you're a world-class talent. If you are starting for Real Madrid, let's run.
Boniface a world-class talent.
It's not now. Like, let's be realistic. Boniface is a very, very good talent. Maybe you can say he has the potential that if he works hard and he stays injury-free, he can get there. But as of right now, there's nothing that will make you call Boniface world-class now. Like, and this is with all due respect to him. Like, I like Boniface, is not a knock on him, but you cannot put him in that bracket yet. And we just have to be realistic with ourselves. This is the same thing I said about that guy that they were vexing for me. But that's just the reality. Like, I look at Real Madrid, like Boniface can be on their bench. Don't get me wrong. I mean, people like Jose sat on their bench. Hendrick is on their bench, so of course he can be on their bench.
Brahim Diaz on their bench.
Yeah, he can be on their bench, but to
even the Turkish guy, Turkish Messi, is on their bench now.
Waiting for that small boy name. I've forgotten. I know Adagula. But I mean, to be a starter right now, because even if you look at maybe Rodrigo and you say, but Rodrigo is playing game, Rodrigo has superior talent. And I don't even think Rodrigo is that good like people hype him up to be, but he has superior talent. You look at Fede Valverde, you look at Thibaut Courtois, David Alaba, Chouameni. it's a different Rudiger. Like it's a different level of player.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
different level of player.
I tend to actually would agree with that. But for me, I just think that if the move works, well, I think Real Madrid need to sort out between Vinicius Junior and Mbappe. I just think that the two of I just think that it's not working. The two of them was not working.
But there's no evidence for you to say it is not working. Mbappe started slow, but the number of goals that Mbappe has scored this season, how can
But
you
they are
say
not
it's not?
winning. They are not winning. It's just scoring goals. They're not winning.
It's just this is like, see, that's it. In life you cannot win every year now. Like
Mhm.
they won. They're having a down year. Even in their down year, they still got to Copa final. They got to Champions League quarter final. It's only Real Madrid that reached quarter final of Champions League, and we say,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's a bad season." Other teams are happy if they get. So it's like, I understand
Mhm.
that Barca are better than them this year. We give it
Mhm.
to them, but
To the
this is Real Madrid, man. By the time they sign Alexander Arnold, they sign
Mhm.
one other world class midfielder. They sign, like, they'll be back. Like, let's be
Mhm.
honest with ourselves. Real Madrid will be
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Well. And that's not actually what discussed was, the Women's World Cup, changing it to 48 teams. Do you think that we'll be seeing level 0 now?
I mean,
In the
it's a
Women's
good
World
thing and it's a bad thing.
Cup?
It's a good thing because it creates an opportunity for more teams to qualify. Teams that
Mhm.
maybe have never been there before have a chance to go
Mhm.
and play
Mhm.
there. So that's a good thing on that side. But it's a bad thing because it's also going to reduce the quality of the tournament at
Mhm.
the early stage. That's
Okay.
just the unfortunate reality. And
Mhm.
for people that are already not fans of women's football, people that already like to laugh at women's football, people that already like to
Mhm.
insult women's football, by the time they see maybe by the time Spain is playing against let me think of, maybe Spain plays, I don't know, Cameroon now, and they give Cameroon 6 or 7, then people will
Yeah.
start saying that, why are they letting these African women go there? And you get what I'm saying? People will shall
Uh-huh.
have all sorts of things to say.
What
So
of
for
if
me,
Nigeria play against San Marino? They have no, San Marino will not
no,
qualify.
no, why no, no, maybe Nigeria play India or so.
They get play India. They get play
Exactly,
India.
we flog them,
So.
But I think women's football, as much as I'm a big fan of women's football, I don't think
Mhm.
that it is big enough yet for a
Mhm.
48 team World Cup,
Tournament.
honestly. But
Mhm.
you know that FIFA, what they're thinking about is their cheddar, man, is their money now.
Mhm.
The more teams, the more money, the
More
more
money.
it's more matches, more money, more
More money.
endorsements, more
Yeah.
everything. So that's really
Mhm.
what they think about. So it
Mhm.
doesn't surprise me too much that they will do something like that. Um,
Yeah.
but it is what it is now.
Well, are they really making money, in this thing? Because they want to recreate the prize money into millions of dollars.
I mean, they are making money. It's just, obviously it's not as much as they are making on the
Women.
men's side,
Mm-hmm.
but they are making money still now. Like, if they're not making money, they won't keep on doing all these things. And
Yeah,
FIFA are very aggressive with the way they do their negotiation, and FIFA, everything, if you are doing anything with the FIFA tournaments, the price
mm-hmm.
is always inflated. FIFA always make everything expensive to broadcast their
Yes,
tournaments, make it so expensive for sponsorship, you know
yes,
and at the end
yes.
of the day, even if
Mm-hmm.
even if people don't want to pay those monies, last
Mm-hmm.
minute you have to compromise. Because if you remember the last World Cup, how they
Mm-hmm.
were saying, "Oh, no broadcaster was wanted to pay all these.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you have to, because you still know that even though it's not, obviously the audience of the FIFA Men's World Cup is
Yeah.
way bigger than the audience of the FIFA Women's World Cup, but for a
Mm-hmm.
broadcaster, there are still millions of people that want to watch the Women's World Cup, and you don't want to
Yeah.
lose those. You still don't want to lose those people. So at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you would still just bend your back and pay. Maybe you might
Yeah.
say, okay, instead of having all the matches, you only want
Mm-hmm.
to take 60 games. Another
Mm-hmm.
broadcaster can say, okay, I'll take these other 30 games, but they will figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I also agree with that, but because at the end of the day, they're going to look for a way to actually want to, because 48 teams, and you're saying that it's massive. But FIFA now it's about money, and this time around now they're adding entertainment to it. So I think it's and this is different from what I discussed. But I want to ask this question about entertainment. The sport and comedy now is not going together. For example, that one of the biggest halftime show during Champions League was the CBS Michael Richards show. And Sky Sports in England now, they're now looking for a way to copy these people, they are bringing Roy King to come and be saying some horrible words, you know. They are bringing Roy King to come. No, you know, I'm hearing that the World Cup in America, there's going to be like, you know, when
They said there's a halftime show.
halftime show, there's going to be like concerts. They're going to be inviting, you know, Afrobeats, you know, like if there's no game on this thing, there's going to be performance, there's going to be everything. You know, it's going to be like a carnival. So, do you think that we are diluting football?
Look, it depends on. Okay, so I mean, you're asking me, but I was going to say it depends on who you ask. The purists, the traditionalists, they don't care for any of those. Just give me 11 players or 22 players on the field. Let them battle it out. That's all they want to see. Then there's a lot of the younger generation, which you cannot ignore the fact that the younger generation are also a large part of the football audience right now. People maybe 25 and under are all a big part of the audience right now. They're the ones that use social media the most. They're the ones that, you know, all these things. They spend a lot of money on football. And they like clips. They like things that's, you know, viral moments.
You think it's like attention span of people are reducing?
Yes, so? That's the reality. People's attention span are reduced. Like 60 seconds, and we want to move on. That's it. That's it. They like viral moments. They like clips. They want to record something and go back and talk about it. You know, things like that. So it's just the reality of where we've come to as a world. If FIFA and all the football says, oh, we don't want to do anything else, we want to just focus on football, the reality of it for them is that they're going to be leaving money on the table. Because you look at what they're doing in the US with with basketball, with American football, with hockey, all these things. They have all these side attractions, and they make so much money from branding, from sponsorships, from All-Star game. People would travel. Like some cities build their whole economy on we're hosting this All-Star game this year. They will brand everything. They will do it. Entertainment. Even look at something like WWE now. Travis Scott is involved. Cardi B is hosting SummerSlam. Like everybody is including celebrities in what they are doing because it's more impressions on social media, more virality, larger audience. You're introducing yourself. For example, now let's say everybody has been saying that Drake might be the one that will perform at the World Cup because it was part of the rollouts. Drake, Kevin Hart, DJ Khaled. So let's imagine Drake is performing now. There are people who normal will never watch football.
Yes.
But if Drake is performing, they will tune in that day.
They will tune in that day, yes.
You want to see Drake perform. So it's just kind of the direction that the world is going. And I know there are people that are like, oh, what's all this woke nonsense? Just give me football and I want to watch football. I personally, I'm not going to lie, I don't mind the extras. You know, I like entertainment. I don't mind the extras. You know, some people say, oh, well, but the halftime will be too long. Instead of 15 minutes, maybe to extend the halftime to 25 minutes. You will not die in those extra 10 minutes. Like, honestly, like for me, I personally, as long as it is actually entertaining, I'm all for it. You know, and then when it's time for the football, don't mess with the football. When it's time for the football, let them play. The only time that I won't like it is if they start to add nonsense into the match. You know, maybe they say, oh, they want to be doing timeouts for somebody to come and perform during that. You know, this kind of thing. That's when I would say, okay, if we are going mad. But if it's halftime, if it's pre-match, if it's post-match, I like it. And you mentioned how the CBS Sports show is the biggest UCL show. And it's because it's just people being real, man. They are being themselves. They are playing around. Like, if you see the way Michael Richards, Jamie Carragher, it's not different between the way you and I will be having our conversation and we'll be laughing and we'll be bantering. Like, it's just real. And then it's like, those are legends. Not Michael Richards, but two of them are legends.
Jamie Carragher is not a legend.
I mean, he's a Liverpool legend, England legend now. But, you know, for ex-pros that have been there, done that, and now they are coming and just having a nice chat. They will banter each other. They will take shots at Michael Richards' hairline. Michael Richards will try to speak Italian. You know, Kate Abdo will come, or Kate Scott will come with her own.
Look at the breast conversation.
Her own banter, like the whole thing with breast. Like, it's just real. Like, that's the truth. And people like real. People like real.
And before you know it, I saw 2 million, 2.1 million views. I don't see those staggering views, in other platforms. Well, she would go and watch Rio Coca when he's so serious with everything. I'm talking about apologies to Rio Coca. They do their own to Golazo. But for example, now Michael Richard, this guy picked call in the middle of this thing. Like
when his daughter was calling,
when his daughter was calling and everything. They were talking about the doggy stick too.
See, those are just real moments. Because normal now on any other kind of show, maybe if your phone should ring, they'll be like, what's wrong? It's so unprofessional. It's this, is that. But it's okay. Obviously, his phone should not be ringing on set. Everybody can agree on that. But okay, now the phone has rang. Instead of you to turn it to just vex, you can turn it into a viral moment, and people will talk about it. And I say, like, it's just realness, man. Because these are the things that can happen in real life. Everything doesn't have to be scripted. Everything doesn't have to be edited so much. Everything doesn't have to be just professional. Sometimes loosen up.
But what about the players too? Final question: the play along with them. For example,
because the players enjoy it. See, that's the thing. And see, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I always say that's the same reason why when I talk to players sit with me for hours, because it's not some serious conversation that it's different if you're having some serious conversation that they know that, oh man, I can't say the wrong thing because they are going to criticize me or they are going to, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that these guys are joking. They are just going to play with you. They're going to ask you silly questions. They will talk about the football, but maybe they will spend 5 minutes asking you about the match. Then the next 10 minutes, they go they say something else. Like, even look at when Yamal was there, look at when Thuram was there. They just and asking you questions.
Even Rafinha.
Liao said when I saw Rafinha one, when Liao came, Liao was joking around, and their show has become so popular because of that. Because everybody sees that it's not that serious.
Yes,
it's not that serious, but they will still talk football.
Yeah,
they will joke as well.
They will joke as well. And even they were even saying that Maguire is better than Carragher in analyzing. They were being real that Michael can do better than you because Waka is doing his own tactics. They were just saying that, being real. And when they brought, even Rafinha, you saw that. So everything was just being real. And they used to do this competition to quiz like, who am I? When Henry got Ori, So I love that show. So let me just
the thing is that the British people, I feel like the British people are not ready. British people are too serious when it comes to football. So maybe in the UK you cannot really do it the way they do it on CBS, that level, because the British people are very serious. Because even sometimes I'll see the comment on Sky Sports. If maybe Sky Sports should post something that is like jokey, I'll see the comments. People are just like, please, what rubbish is this? What this person is a sausage. This person is this is a British insult. And I'm just like, you guys need to loosen up a little bit. It's not that serious now.
But Roy Keane, just that for them now, like Roy Keane is properly. If you watch, I don't know, maybe you watch the podcast of what's it called, of Strife. It's what's it called? They call it Sky Sports. That what's it called? This guy normally hosts this defender. Gary Neville.
The overlap. Is it the overlap?
Yeah, overlap. Yeah, the overlap. Yeah. You know that they joke about the overlap. That say that if they remove Roy Keane from that podcast, all of you are just nothing.
No, because see the thing that Roy Keane, and that's another thing with someone like a Roy Keane, because everybody knows Roy Keane to be this very serious, strict kind of guy. But then even him, I think him too, he has realized that life is not that serious now. Like sometimes he does joke around. So whenever he makes those jokes, sometimes when he's being serious, he doesn't realize that it's coming across funny. And I think he has kind of just bought into it that he doesn't have to be so serious all the time. So sometimes he will joke around.
Yes. Let me just appreciate my friend. Give me gifts today. Ivory.
Ivory 10.
Yeah, Ivory. Thank you for your gift. I actually appreciate
you. It's not 5 today, Ivory.
Ivory, thank you. Greetings to you too. Thank you, Ivory, for that spa chat. So, let me just ask you so before I talk about the ET ranks. The Flying Eagles. You were texting me during the game. Horrible performance again.
I will absolutely be honest.
I won't advise you to bet on them. Don't do anything. So what are you? 0 upon 0. Like,
honestly, I don't know, when I did my first review, people said, "Hey, you're just being too harsh. Yeah, this one you're down." 3 games in, there's nothing to be excited about. I think the only thing that I was happy about from that last game was that Sparrow scored, because I think he's a talented player. I mean, shout out to my guy Bam Bam, Daniel Bam Bam Bam, still doing his job at the back, but nothing really progressive. I don't know, man. There's nothing that exciting about this team. That's the honest truth. Now, and I still think that they have a chance of going all the way, because if they play with their strength, their pace, the
can it
other
be Senegal?
team, it's tough now. Nobody Senegal beat us last time. So it's tough. It's not going to be easy. It's a test. If they beat Senegal, it will be a boost for their morale self. I will not tell anybody that I think they will beat Senegal. But anything is possible in football at the end of the day. Sometimes it's just maybe how much you want it can carry you over the line. So if they want it more on that day and they play their hearts out, who knows, man? Maybe it's possible, because even Senegal, I mean, they drew 1 game, they lost 1 game. So it's not as if Senegal have been impressive like that as well.
Yeah, they've not been impressive too.
So anything really can happen, man. Anything can happen.
So guys, want to join the league?
I'm not excited. Sorry, go on.
No,
I said, I'm not excited. That's the truth. I'm not excited.
For me, there's nothing to point out that Barry. Daniel Bam Bam Babayi, clearing the ball. But for me, I still think that MPF, I don't want to talk more about that.
Oh, don't worry. If he goes to the World Cup and he plays in the World Cup again, even if his team is Sweden, he'll find a team.
But he played last one now. Why didn't he find a team?
I don't know. Maybe maybe he did not have the right people, or maybe because I don't know. But if he goes to the World Cup again, captains decide if they reach like quarterfinal, semi-final. He'll find a team.
I think so too. So let us talk about the ET ranks. I know that you sent me the ET ranks. So should I play it? So let me just give you like a background information about the ET rank. It's when we rank Nigerian players from different generations, defenders, midfielders, and also strikers. So we did the defenders. If you have not watched that, go and watch that. So the first category is the world class, followed by is it no just goats?
No,
followed by
goats, world class, Super Eagles, and then
MPFL. So you can see your favorite player there. Your legends. Go and check their name there and see how we score them. Don't call me out. But this week I think we did midfielders. So let me just plan and play the thing to you. That when he made mistake, some people went to different religious areas to go and lay a course, like just to go and be abusing him.
We are here for another exciting episode of ET Ranks, where we rank Nigerian players based on different categories. Today we are ranking Nigeria's best ever midfielders.
I would have dropped into world class if I want to look at something that he did.
So if you drop him into world class, everybody in Nigeria will come for you.
You guys just adore me on this one.
It's like, just give your ranking and move on. Stop.
Okay, world class. World class.
Greatest Nigerian midfielder of all time. 3, 2, 1.
So, guys, in case you're wondering what happened, we ranked Nigerian midfielders from different generations. And if you want to, some of you that have been like you've been following football for so long, we covered those areas. And who's your best midfielder for all time? I picked mine. Well, I think we had like 2v2 in that conversation, or was it 2v2?
Yeah, we didn't all agree. Yeah, it was 2v1.
2v1. Okay.
But it was 2. So I mean, what I like most about this series that we're doing is that it's very educational. Even for myself, I'm in my 20s. People like Smedaya have been watching football, know their history far more than me. People like Mr. Didotun have been watching football since before my parents even met, probably. So it's like you're learning. We're having these conversations. We're laughing. We're ranking them, but as we're ranking them, we're also talking about them, talking about what they did, talking about their careers. So if you are someone like me that is a youngin, you can watch it and you learn so much about the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s. Like, so much knowledge is being dished out, and that's what I really, really like about this series. And you know, this one just dropped. The video is live now on Eagles Tracker. So you can watch the video. I saw our friend Austin was saying, why is MPFL the lowest class? The lowest class.
Yeah, I'm looking at Austin that one.
Yeah, I was looking at that one.
Okay.
It's very interesting, man. Very exciting, and we want you guys to tell us your own, you know, ranking as well. Various midfielders that we ranked, all the way from Okocha to Muda Lawal to Indidi to Onazi. You know, lots of players made the cut. So go and check where your favorite player is ranked, and of course, let us know your own ranking. Somebody might disagree with us, somebody might agree with us. It's all part of the fun, it's all part of the engagement, you know. But there's a lot to learn. There's so much to learn.
For me, I think a lot to learn. And you know, shout out to those that actually watch the final one too. You know, some of you gave a very good reason why you think someone should be somewhere, but you know, I think we disagree on few things. You know,
we disagreed on a few, but you know, also because the way we are doing it is each person is giving their own ranking, and then if one person agrees, we still get it. So the reality of it is that, like, I mean, there's no perfect list. There's no perfect top 20. Somebody will say, oh, why is this guy not in the top 20? Another person will say this guy should not be in the top 20. So there's no perfect list. But if you watch it, you kind of see the way we're going about it. You know, it's our opinion. People need to stop getting mad at other people's opinions. You know, if you have your own opinion, say your own opinion. You are free to have your own opinion.
Okay. That brings me to this conversation. Before I wrap it up, you know, people have been texting me. I will not lie to you that why will you go and say that? Why did you say it? No, a lot. I will not lie to you. I will, so that today for privacy. So why will he go and say that about a player that is on the rise? And somebody might be watching me now. I spoke to him this morning, and I said that say he watched that video and he agreed with you. And this person is very, you know, he knows this boy from.
I spoke to a footballer today that said he agrees with me. A Nigerian footballer today was telling me, no, he was just being childish. That why would he even answer? You know, everything. That guy, I agree with what you're saying. And that's the thing. I don't know. See, for me, I just look at it that if people think, oh, you cannot say that a player did not perform in the past or flopped in the past because he's a Nigerian player, then that's their opinion. I don't fault anybody. If you feel like, oh, everything we say about Nigerian players should just be hyping them and be praising them. But then some people will also come and tell me, oh, you hype players too much. Today on my YouTube, somebody was telling me, the player that we're talking about, somebody said, you won't, because I did on Wednesday, I did analysis of Chrysanthos Uche. Somebody came and said, you won't do analysis of this guy because you like him. So the same player that some people are saying that I'm hating on, somebody else is telling me, oh, I'm being biased and I like that player too much. So at the end of the day, you know, you can't please the internet. For me, I always say the sad part of this whole thing is that players only care when you say something that is not positive. When you are praising them, when you're hyping them, when you're celebrating their goals, they don't care. But then the moment you say, oh, I don't think this guy can play at this level, it becomes an issue. So for me, I have nothing to apologize for. I've said it before. It's not as if I'm trying to be stubborn. I just think that it sets a bad precedent if people in the media cannot have their opinions. And again, you know, initially I said, why would he respond? But I take that back. If he wants to respond, he can respond. Anybody is free to respond to anything. I just don't think he should. I don't think he should respond, but he can if he wants to. It's free, it's within his rights, you know, to say whatever. But me, I just think that as a professional player, obviously he's not yet at the top. But if you are planning to get to the top, when you get to the top, you are going to have far more haters than ever before. You know, imagine people still hating on Messi till today. People still hating on Ronaldo. So,
but you know, we had the issue. We had the discussion on Tuesday, but the issue took a different turn a day after when he called you John Champion. Sorry.
He said John Champion.
sorry. You know, I don't know when I was saying that. He called John Champion. See.
I mean, that was funny. I'll give it to him.
That was like that was funny actually. And you called him too. But why do you call him Victor Osimhen?
Because he's calling me John Champion. John Champion is a legend in this game. John Champion is somebody that
but you are calling him his friend's name.
Because Osimhen is, I wanted to use a Nigerian player, Obviously, he made a joke.
Osimhen is more painful.
Well, it's too bad.
He made call him Ronaldo, we know about
that. But I won't call him Ronaldo. He can never be Ronaldo. He made a joke. He made a joke, yeah, and he called me John Champion. Trying to say that I think I'm who I'm not. So me too. I think Osimhen is who he's not. Osimhen is who he aspires to one day be like Osimhen. He's not there yet.
But I think I won't eat him. I won't eat him. Yeah.
Well, too bad. Because if you can give it, you have to be able to take it now. If you can joke and throw shit at me, myself, I can joke and throw shit back at you. But for me, like, it's all fun for this thing for me is not that serious. Like, I still like the guy. Like, I still wish him all the best. If he scores tomorrow, I don't know if they're playing tomorrow or Sunday. If he scores, I go still post him. I go still be happy for him. So for me, it matters very little. It's just, as far as I'm concerned, it's banter. And if a player chooses to engage in the banter, I'm going to engage back. That's just the reality. That's kind of like, if you can give it, you can take it. I hope he's not taking it to heart. I really hope so. Like I said, I spoke to a player today. The player was saying, hey, if you can contact him, just contact him. Because the guy was like that when he saw his reaction, that he thought maybe we've had issues in the past, because why would he just respond if it was just this one thing? And I told him that we don't have any issue in the past, though. Maybe unless there's issue that I'm not aware of. There's no issue. So for me, it's all fun and games, man. I'll keep talking my talk. Him to keep playing his ball.
Who is this back? I said, to be honest, you can't. I don't know what he's trying to refer to.
You can't do what? I don't understand what he means.
I don't know what Yashua means. To be honest, Yashua can't. But for me, I just look at that. I did follow the comment again. Maybe he blocked me, but because I can see no notifications initially. Well, I don't know, maybe he blocked me. It was through our friend now. That was why I was able to. So this thing happened. So I just went to go and check, and I realized that
and a bunch of his friends were coming in the comments, were saying a lot of things. A lot of his friends. Yeah, because I was, some people were replying, and then I'll look on their profile, and I'll see followed by. So I said, okay, if he's following you, then he's so I don't take it so serious. If your friends come and say something.
To be honest with you, and now it might be here now because I can see people increasing. It can be here now, but I can say this day, I think. He shouldn't have responded. He flopped in that area. I just think that when he went to go and call you John Champion, I think he went too far. Just leave it.
He can make his jokes if he wants to make his jokes.
No, that one is too sarcastic. That was he thought that he can pinch you at that point. Say he go Uku for one corner. But when you give him that Victor Osimhen, why Victor Osimhen was so, I don't know how you thought about that. It was so, in fact, they pay me safe because it's like you call them person where him being teammate says that's better than him. So that one he hooked him to one corner. So I don't think he responded again now. I don't think he did.
No, he responded. He said amen.
Amen. Yeah, he said amen. Amen. So I think that was actually what ended the whole thing. So, I just think that some players too needs to balance these things very well. So that at the end of the day, because at the end of the day now, if you get game tomorrow and he's replying to John Champion and everything tomorrow, you should give somebody to undo this thing for.
When I was talking to a player today, and when I was talking to him, one thing that we both agreed on is the fact that this also only happens because I'm Nigerian now. Like, that's the only reason it happens. If, let's say, Roy Keane, or let me not even use Roy Keane because Roy Keane is even an ex-footballer, so he's a different kind of person from me. But even if one British pundit on maybe Sky Sports or on Bleacher Report, all these maybe even Culture Cams, or even let me say Mayowa Quadri, all these guys that create content on these other media companies in the world, you're not going to go in Bleacher Reports to go and argue with one of their pundits now or one of their creators. You're not going to go to 433 to go and argue with one of their people. The only reason why you would come and comment is because you look at Nigeria and you think, oh, who will be this guy? Who does he think he is? You know,
Mm-hmm.
they don't read, like, maybe, you know, probably doesn't rate me, and it's like, oh, why is this guy talking like this? So for me, I think that's another thing with the disconnect, and that's the reason why a lot of Nigerian media don't even try to do the work that I do, because they feel like, why do you even spend your, like, people ask me this, like journalists in Nigeria, TV personalities, they ask me like, guy, why do you waste your time posting all these players, doing all these things for all these players when they don't care? You know, but me, I do it because I enjoy it and because I want the audience to, you know, support and love Nigerian players more. But when a player doesn't rate Nigerian media, it is like, you know, and at the end of the day, see, like, maybe again, I think we spoke about this on Tuesday, and I said maybe is the Gen Z thing, you know, because he doesn't care. Someone like Boniface doesn't care, you know, but you would never see somebody like an Indidi doing something like that, you know. If Indidi even wants to respond, he will respond in maybe on just on his story, and he might just leave like a subliminal. You know, somebody like Omeru is never going to respond. Kelechi Iheanacho has received all the backlash in the world. Iheanacho is not going to respond. You know, maybe it's just this new generation of like, oh, you think you're a superstar because, you know, you are playing in Belgium, you got to play 2 games for Super Eagles, you know, you think you don't arrive now. You don't arrive. So but
So
for me, like, anybody do what they want to do, man. The only thing that for me is like, if my job is to talk. If I talk and you reply me, I will talk again. You can. So people were saying that you should have let it go. I said, no, why would I let it go? Like, my job is to talk. If you reply me, look at in America, Stephen A and LeBron. LeBron confronted Stephen A. Stephen A went on TV and talked about it. Let's even look at Africa, Mikel and Nicholas Jackson. Jackson responded to Mikel. Mikel went on his podcast and talked about it again, because that's how Mikel works. If I say something and a player, you reply me, I will talk. I'll reply you back, because I'm not going to go and fight you. I'm not going to go and play ball. I don't want to go and play ball. And when you play that ball, you better do well.
You better do well, because for me,
I'm not a vindictive person, but like, I'm not trying to even overstate my relevance or influence. But if I want to go on a smear campaign against a player, I can, and people will have a negative view on the player's ability. It's possible. I'm not going to do that. But the players don't realize that they have more to lose. Like, that's the reality. He has more to lose, because for me now, if I keep talking, even if some people are insulting me in the comments, it's just more views, more engagement for me. I don't lose anything. But you now, some people go come say, who be this one? Oh, he thinks it's this, he thinks it's that. Oh, he's not even good. And you're the one that is losing. At the end of the day, you're the one that has to go and deliver. By the time you play now, I think as of today, maybe he has played 5 games, he has not scored. By the time the team reach 8 now, people are going to say, and this is the one that is talking on social media. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
look at Jackson.
What do you see? Look at Jackson. It's like, you have more to lose as a player. So if you respond, you're only just helping me out. The only thing I was praying for is that I would have liked it more if it was a big player that responded. You know, I just think like, if Osimhen responds to me now, I know say he will give me some clouds. You know, if he responds, I'll get some clouds. But by him responding, I think I gained 20 followers.
Even if
Ekong should respond, exactly, I get some clouds. But I think he replied me now 20 followers where I see. You're not rich now. Even if Boniface should respond, I will gain 1,000 or something.
Maybe you should take the response to the head not, so that since one person talk say it's no good though, head not go ever and publish him now. So but for me, I just think that because you are Nigerian, because you realize that you support the team, and the issue is this: Nigerian players see Nigerians as beggars mostly. I will not lie to you. You see a Nigerian, there's one interview Nigerian player, he walk out. It will work out, Sean. It will work out. I'm going to meet one. I saw Vinicius do that same thing too. We went to go and meet the lady instead. to get interviewed. So I know that, but I just think that we need to respect our media. We need to respect people doing content. Because, for example, now, I don't know how many hours you spent producing content, because before we self with the UK, we never go wake up if we don't say you don't post again. Say, Champions League, you are watching. I don't know how many games you watch in a month. Maybe you yourself should be writing documentary. Maybe trying to do your own series of how you monitor games. Yes, how you monitor games, and so you go viral. Say this football crazy person, how is he doing it? Because sometimes these are the stories you tell. That is one thing. Nobody knows how you do it, because at the end of the day, I don't see some people that started before you. You know them very well. They will post once in a month. No, no, not joking. But
But
I don't know
it's not everybody that has the
the energy.
consistency and consistency,
Yeah.
because it's not easy now. Like, it's not easy, and the reality of it is that the money doesn't justify the time. Like, that's the
Mm-hmm.
truth. It's just because for somebody like me, I have a big goal that I'm working towards. I know what I'm working towards, but
Mm-hmm.
the money doesn't justify. Like, if I put all the money that I've made all together from doing this, if I remove the work that I do behind the scenes and I just look at the money that I make from creating content, it doesn't justify the hours that I put in. That's the
Mm-hmm.
honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, throughout the time I was doing this, I had a 9 to 5 job. My 9 to 5 job was paying me 5, 10 times what Eagle Tracker was paying me. But I'll still finish work, go on my computer, listen, try to
Mm-hmm.
create content. Because at the end of the day, there's a dream, there's a goal. And I always say, like, I don't care who the player is, be you the biggest player in the world, be you the smallest player in the world, you're going to come and go. Eagle Tracker is going to exist.
Hmm.
Because in 20 years, nobody's going to be
Well,
talking
you used
about.
to post the table before. Sorry, you used to post some player in I mean, when you started now, I remember you were giving them this
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Remember? So all those things, then you put them together as a story. The way you used to go and hide somewhere like this, be giving the interview, nobody see you then. I think your interview, you see Igor Hogu there, during during COVID there, you are one number one. This thing. We just listening to you
That
directly.
COVID time
Eh?
was a good.
Yes.
That COVID
Let
time
people.
was very interesting time. See,
Uh-huh.
and you see, it's also because me that time. I remember that COVID period. I had interviews every single day, every
Mm-hmm.
day, every day. That time where Osimhen never blew yet,
Mm-hmm.
all these people were still small. By that time, nobody has heard of Arokodare ever. Maybe only his family. All those things. No, like, realistically now, come on, like, nobody had heard of him. So it's like, but that's the thing. I mean, like, players will come and go. I'm going to remain here. In 30 years, I will still be talking about Nigerian football.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality. But
Mm-hmm.
then you'll be in your house somewhere. By God's grace, you've made enough money, you've invested your property,
Mm-hmm.
everything. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll still exist. So for me,
It is.
I always say shout out to all the players that value the work we do. There are some, like, I always mention somebody like a Leon Balogun, because Leon Balogun in his life has never given me 1 cent, never, or anything like that. So it's not even a money thing. But just from the interactions that we've had, from the way he speaks, you can know that this guy values what you do and what you're doing. And there's players like that.
Let me just appreciate KZ. Sorry, KZ. Thank you for joining. I just want to thank you guys for all you do. Be encouraged. Don't take anything people say personal. See, let me tell you something. One person here, I will not mention the person's name. He went to a comment. He went to go and change his name and everything. See, can see all of you. That was on Google Class comments. See, that's Midlai. Don't put him there again. I see. I know the person. Yeah, I know the person. But the person now, maybe it's a psychiatric comment. I don't know, because you'll be watching me now, and your head go they turn. Because at the end of the day, all those hates and everything. See, that's why sometimes, IoT, you could post something, people go abuse me, dire. See, so no one I talk about Boniface, if you talk something with his teeth.
Even
See,
Boniface, I think he replied now.
I replied.
I think so. He said, but maybe he deleted it. But he said something. I can't remember. Maybe he deleted it.
Okay, what did he do? What was he said?
I can't remember.
The abuse. See, one of my people, they post and say, "Do you go and check one comment again?" See, I can't mix that and say, I don't want to even see comments. Say, you look at him. What is he even talking about? What's in Nigeria? But the type of abuse I get, because they have to say, if he was come with it. It's my opinion. It's what I think. It's not as if he's a bad player. I don't support Bayer Leverkusen. I support Super Eagles. If you make me happy, I support you. It's not bad now. People abuse it. People do this. I just look at it that see those things. I'm now resistant to it. If you like, abuse me anything.
At this point, some people will say, "This is clear that this guy does not know anything about football. He does not do that."
I don't know. See, I
If you say,
don't.
you know the way some people, if you say what they think,
Uh-huh.
they're happy. Oh,
Yeah.
this guy knows. But if you say something that is not what they think, all of a sudden now you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know football. You don't know anything. So me, like, I don't say, like, I don't care about comments again. I always engage because I like engaging people. I like having debates. You know, that's one thing. Me, I have lawyer inside my blood, even though I'm not a lawyer. So I like having debates. I like arguing things with people. Once the person starts insulting, I remove myself. But if I can debate somebody and the person is having a professional, not professional, respectful adult conversation, let's debate now. So I always engage people, but sometimes they can just call me insults. I don't like no problem. Sometimes I don't laugh.
Even there was a comment I made that I don't know if you'll pick that one out about a one Nigerian club side, you know, when I abused them, you know, that it did not do well in the continent, you know. Somebody replied me and say, "Thank you for those things." You know, the issue is this: if you have a personality with somebody, you are with somebody. Does it mean that you should not say the truth again about what you see? You know. So now any achievement we then do, they go tag me, join. You can see what we are doing. You know. So that is how I feel about that thing at that time, and I'm saying it based on the way other people feel. I know that I might be able to call you and ask you some questions, but currently things are not going.
See,
not going well.
one of the players that I help manage their social media, I was talking to the person about this whole thing, and the person told me, "Say, IoT, even we self where they do work for, you go still criticize us for your show. Is it now another player?" That's what this guy was telling me. The guy said, "IoT, even me where they do work for me, they criticize me for your show. So why is another player expecting you not to criticize?" Because that's what I always tell. If you come and tell me, "Oh, IoT, I want you to help me with my social media," I will tell you yes. But I hope you know that now, because you are paying me fee for my work, that work is separate from what I'm doing, though. So just know that it does not absolve you from any this thing. Everybody knows that I work with Rashidat. Even Rashidat, when she play bad, I go tell her, say, you miss chance where you're not supposed to miss. You are like everything. So for me, I look at it that if people that I am working for on their brand or on their social media, all these things, if I'm criticizing them, is now somebody that does not send me, I'll now be protecting his feelings. No.
So
I want to be in good relationship with everybody, but at the end of the day, you have to do your job. Like, I mean, even look at Ronaldo. Ronaldo does not like Jamie Carragher because Carragher don't criticize her with the past, and it be like that sometimes. Sometimes some people might be upset and they might not like you, but you have to keep doing your job, because the moment you stop saying your honest opinion, you lose your value. Like, you lose your whole value.
Sorry, G. Ambrose. I plan to talk to Amobi, coach. What's it called? Barrister Amobi. What's he called? The director of Rangers. What's his name? I think the manager of Rangers. About his dolly. The CEO. Is he CEO?
He's CEO now, Rangers.
The CEO? Yes.
Amobi is CEO now.
I don't know. See, I see
the box stops at Amobi makes all the decisions.
So I don't know that don't renew contract now. If don't renew contracts. So yes, that's very good. So don't worry, Ambrose. We're gonna bring him and discuss about what he's doing in Rangers and so on. So at least go ask him question about the MPFL. But the issue is this: MPFL matter. I don't tire for MPFL matter. I can't just say I don't tire for MPFL matter. IoT, you were doing MPFL update before. Well, you don't stop out.
Every once in a while. J. Ambrose, go and follow our friend Proudly Austin. Austin carries the MPFL on his back. So follow Austin.
Carries the MPFL. So since Remo actually won the league, against Nados on the score that against Nados. Me, I know.
See, here's even something. We're talking about the way football is being presented today. Somebody gave us a compliment here, said IoT and Spiller are keeping Nigerian football analysis alive. Let's look at it now. Most of the traditional TV people, a lot of them, are also now trying to create content on social media because
Yes.
they realize that social media is where it is at. That's where people are consuming most of their information. There are some people today that they watch their news on TikTok. They know they watch channels, they know they watch all these things. So it's like
Yes, now TikTok is where people watch their news most times now.
so it's like in a country like Nigeria, I mean, traditional TV is still very big, but at the end of the day, like social media, people are on social media all the time. If you want to reach people, social media is where you reach people, is where people will see, is where people will know you. So even the people that are on traditional TV, they are coming to social media to create content and compete with us. So it's like at the end of the day, they have to give the respect. When I started the Ghost Tracker and I was interviewing all these people, interviewed Yama, interviewed Taiwo, people from TV, from channels, from AIT, from all these TV stations were asking me, bros, I beg, how you reach this guy now? What do you do? Everything. So yeah. People were telling me that we've been trying to interview, he has not answered us. Yeah, think about it now. How many times have you seen Enyama do an interview?
It's a long. Last time I saw him, you.
I've had him on my show to do post-match
on YouTube
as well.
I know on Instagram.
Yeah, I've had him to do post-match analysis. I've had interview. So it's like, how many people do you see interviewing Yakubu? Or how many times do you see Yakubu doing anything in the media? But I've been able to talk to Yakubu. How many times do you see Taiwo doing anything? If he's not doing something in Marseille, it's just quiet. But if I do live, Taiwo will come. I've interviewed him. He comments on this thing in my live videos all the time. So it's just social media is where it's at. As long as you can, make them feel comfortable and make them feel like, and they know, like, you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing. I always say, no matter how some people are new to this, when I say new to this, some people, like, the reality of it is that we're still growing. Maybe somebody heard about English Tracker for the first time today. Then if I post something tomorrow now and the person doesn't like what I posted, the person will come and insult me and say, oh, who be this guy? Who does he think he is? Blah, blah, blah. But like, there's years of this track record of all the work that has been done. Like, and people respect the track record, whether I like it or not. Like, that's the reality. That's what I'm saying. Like, even one player vexing, but I'm having multiple players that are telling me this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Why is this being childish? Because there's a track record. People respect the work.
Yeah. Well, what has been your most challenging moments in this English Tracker? Like the most challenging moment that you tires was
It's money. It's money. I've spent a lot of money. I
feel like some of us to spend back, like everything.
Last year we made a profit of $200.
$200.
Profit, yeah. I'm giving you guys my finances. So that's the thing. That's the reason why, like, when I do live and I say, guys, please leave super chat, leave everything. It's like people think, oh, maybe this guy does always wants money, but like that's reality. Like, for example, Nigeria playing against Rwanda and Zimbabwe, I spent almost ₦1 million. How much content were we able to create? They closed the camp now, everything. I spent almost ₦1 million. That's money that I've just lost now. Like, the money I've just lost it.
Do you think that if you travel to Rwanda, from Canada to Rwanda is far. If you travel to Rwanda,
the flight alone is more than $1 million that I spent.
So. But for me, I think that if it's for you to go there yourself, I think you might get.
If I go there myself,
I'll be able to traveling, document and everything.
Yeah, together. I'll be able to capture a lot more. I'll be able to do a lot more. And that's one of the goals that I have. Like, I want to be able to travel and do everything. I'm not just yet, because I have a lot of things going on here that I can't just compute and travel. That's why sometimes I'm like, I wish I was in Europe, because Europe, if you just say, okay, Friday, just enter France, do one or two things, enter this place, do one or two things. Unfortunately, I'm far away. So, like, that's honestly the most challenging thing is money. Like, salaries alone, every month I pay like $700,000 naira, rather 700,000 naira in salary. I pay 700,000 naira in salaries every month. I have to make the money to pay the salary somehow. So that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the things that are not easy to do. So that's the reason why, like, when I encourage people, like the video, subscribe, share, leave super chats, because people might not realize it, but every little helps going towards paying salaries, going towards doing all these things. Like, it's just the reality. But at the end of the day, see, there's a goal, there's a vision. That's the reason why I won't stop. Because there have been times where, like, I'll look at that guy, what am I even spending all this my energy for? Like, I said, my job that I've been doing, the job like I'm not going to say how much my salary is, but like more than 10 times what I'm making from Eagle Tracker is what the job is paying me in a year. So like it's like you look at it, I'm like, why not? Let me just focus on my work that is paying me all this money. But there's a vision, there's a goal. You know, we didn't start this to just leave it here. So that's why I say like, in 30 years to still be here. Obviously, in 30 years' time, it will be very different from what it is today. You know, by the time I'm gone, when I'm old and I've passed away, Eagle Tracker will still exist. Somebody else will just be doing it.
So, you know, looking at you know, the AFCON now, you know, I'm going to wrap it up now. You know, AFCON is going to be December, and I'm hearing that Morocco is planning big for the AFCON. They want to be tourists. They want celebrities to come like the World Cup. They want to be like a best rehearsal for the World Cup in 2026. You know, it's just going to be a year. You know, so I know that you want to go to Morocco. You want to start show up there. You know, if you think, do you think that if you travel down to Morocco yourself, you go be more effective? You know,
no, for sure. That's one of the things that I've always, I won't say regrets, but I've always been sad about that I haven't been able to travel and do things. Like for example, 2022 World Cup, I wanted to go there, but I had a job. And again, like I said,
so, like, Nigeria don't go qualify. That's what I think.
Even though Nigeria did not qualify, it would have still been a nice experience. But like I had a job. My job was not going to allow me to just 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. I wanted to go, but my oga will not let me go. And like I said, the money that I'm making at that time, the money that I was making from my job is what was funding Eagle Tracker. So if my oga says he's not going to give me these 1 month to go, if I say, I'm still going to go, they sack me now, I won't have money to fund what I want to fund. You know, so it's like I have a job that is helping to fund this, that's helping me to pay to this thing. So I just have to make all these tough decisions, like, you know. So it's very just, you know, but at the end of the day, we continue the work now. We continue the work.
Sorry, Kelvin, mommy said that I want to send super chat, but it keeps on it's difficult. It keeps on declining. He said I want to send super chat, but it kept on declining. What is declining there? You use super chat, are you trying to say?
What if is on your channel now? If he won't send you a $1,000 super chat, you don't know.
Was it keeps on declining?
Maybe it's I don't know. You don't know maybe there's an issue now. You don't know. Don't discourage. Kelvin, go on. If it's not working here, go and try it on Eagle Tracker. If it's not working here, go and try it on
it's a super thanks now.
Yeah, super thanks. You can go on latest video and leave super thanks on the video, or you can join our channel as a member. You can go on our shop and buy something, merchandise. Like there are many different ways that you can support. You can subscribe on Instagram. So many different ways that you can support.
MCFA cost out. So finally, you know, how much do you think the AFCON trip will cost you? You know, but people want to take, I want to support this guy. You know,
I mean, how much did the AFCON trip cost? Flight is about $2,000 plus, you know, dollars. We have to think of accommodation for
or US plus.
In Canadian. You know, you think of accommodation for 1 month. Obviously, accommodation, if you maybe share with people, get Airbnb, things, you can bring it down. You know, but let's even just say 1,000.
You want to have like a studio now to record and everything, you know.
It depends now. It depends on how long your money is. But the whole trip, you know, flights plus accommodation plus feeding plus miscellaneous, you know, travel within. Because the first few matches are in this city, you have to travel to another city for another few matches. You have to travel to another city. All those things. It's going to cost nothing less than $5,000. Yeah, like, that's the right thing. 5,000 US, nothing less than that.
How much do you think I make from it?
I have to, if I want to say it, you know, they say from your mouth to God's ears. I hope that I can make at least maybe 8 from it. You know, 8,000. You hope for, like, at the minimum, you know, just get your money back and some. But it's not going to be easy now, because again, it depends on views.
You're talking about 50. You can make 50.
$50,000. Yeah. From AFCON content.
Okay. No. I think World Cup. I'm talking about World Cup. Sorry.
Okay. You know, maybe World Cup. Yeah, World Cup is the biggest, because World Cup, and the things are like World Cup, you can capture so many content about so many different teams, about so many different things. You know, just showing the city, showing the everything. You know, World Cup I'm looking forward to, because for something like World Cup now, my travel cost is not going to be that high because it's close to me. versus like traveling to Africa. And
Yeah.
that's another thing. Sometimes people say, "Oh, why don't I travel for Nigeria's games?" It's like, think about it. If I have to travel to Nigeria, I now have to spend 1,500 to travel to Uyo to go and cover one game and then come back. It's like that 1,005. No matter how many videos I record and I post on social media on YouTube, you are not going to watch it to give me 1,005 back. That's the reality. Most of the time, when I create content, like I say, like most of the time I lose money on content. Like the reality of it is that most of the money that we make from Eagles Tracker, I said, oh, we made $200 profit last year. Most of that money doesn't come from content. It comes from the work that I do behind. Because I manage social media for people, I do branding for people. That's where most of the money comes from. The content itself, the truth is, if I'm being honest now, the content loses money.
It loses money.
The content loses money based on how much I pay video editors, how much I pay graphic designers, how much I spend on different things. When there's games and I pay somebody to go and create content at the game. In Rwanda, I paid somebody to help us create. I paid somebody to help us create. Like the content loses money because these people are not doing these things for free. But I do a lot of other work behind the scenes that people might not necessarily see, and that helps to balance the books, which I'm grateful to God for. But
so my mom from America, from Canada, where you live, said that traveling costs in Canada and US is like.
If I want to go to New York, I will drive to New York. Now, fuel I go pay. I will drive to New York. New York is even if I want to travel, like it's not cheap. Don't get me wrong, but it's more affordable. Like for me to travel within from Nigeria to Morocco, for example, Smidla, you would have traveled to Morocco 4 times and come back.
Yes, yes, I'm sure that. In fact, Morocco to here is £40. It's I don't know if my man is here. Tizugo, he said that sometimes it's saw £35. What's it called? A ticket, to Morocco. So that means that I can go to Morocco today, watch Nigerian game, come back tomorrow. So I don't need to go there and
and that's another thing with traveling from here is because that when you travel from here, if you are going to Africa, you are spending minimum of 14 to 24 hours.
Yes.
Because of the distance. It's always a long journey. So it's like there's so many things that you have to count into. But I mean, what you're saying is not that wrong. When Super Falcons played in Vancouver against Canada in 2022, I flew to Vancouver from here. It cost me about $700 to fly to Vancouver and back within the same country. So it's not cheap, but it's more affordable. But like for example, for someone like me now, like I have my car. Like if I want to go to New York, I can always. It's going to be a long drive, but if I want to save money, I can drive to New York. But at least if God wants to help us, and maybe they put Nigeria in Canada's group, and our games are in Canada. Toronto, if I drive to Toronto, it's 4 hours. I'll buy gas. I drive down to Toronto. Things like that. Everything will be expensive, but because I know people now, I feel just ask one of my boys, say, I beg, for this, I go come for your place, or for this, kind of thing. So there's ways to work out, versus going to another whole place where you have to pay hotel. Because everybody will hike prices up when people are coming.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. So it's been a very lovely conversation, IoT. And let me just remind people again before we actually
make you qualify first by God's grace.
He's the first player that when he made mistake, some people went to different religious areas to go and lay a course, like just to go and be abusing him.
We are here for another exciting episode of ET Ranks, where we rank Nigerian players based on different categories. Today we are ranking Nigeria's best ever midfielders.
I would have dropped into world class if I want to look at something that he did.
So if we drop him into world class, everybody in Nigeria will come for you.
You guys just adore me on this one.
It's like, just give your ranking and move on. Stop.
Look, world class. World class.
Greatest Nigerian midfielder of all time. 3, 2, 1.
So that's on ET, guys. It's live. Go and actually watch it. When I wanted to go, that's why I have a caller, but I'm just going to take it because he's my very good friend from Canada, where you are.
Mr. Patrick. Oh no, okay.
No, it's not Mr. Patrick.
Mr. Patrick always come at the end.
He's my man. It's been a long time.
I agree to you.
Thank you for joining.
That's
our last caller. I won't take it. Tell us your contribution quickly. So that's it.
Oh, so sorry. I'm joining late. I just saw that you guys were live and I quickly joined. It's a time difference.
Mark your calendar every Friday.
Okay.
Yes, I know. Unfortunately, um, it's after 5 o'clock now in my
You
time.
have
So
work.
yeah. So, but what I wanted to talk about was the Boniface going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be a very good. It would be a very good move for him. For me, I'll say my own opinion. I think it will be a good move for him, even though he doesn't play immediately. But sometimes you need to step up to those kind of challenge. I remember when Benzema went to Real Madrid from
Leon.
Lille. It was a
Leon.
from
Leon.
Lyon. Yeah, it was a huge step. I don't think he lived up to it immediately. It took some time
I think
before.
Raul was playing then. Raul,
Yeah, I think they had a couple of players. I know
Van
Ronaldo.
Nistelrooy.
I think Ronaldo, R9 was there, Kaká or something.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were all there at that time. I think they are looking at the future with those kind of players. It depend on how hard he works, right? You understand? Whoever he needs to step up. Benzema also had to talk to Vinicius Junior at one point that look, you need to step up. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? You are playing for Real Madrid. I think those kind of challenges sometimes it's either you make it or you fake
Mm-hmm.
you don't. With people like Arjen Robben did make those moves. Arjen Robben did not survive Real Madrid after
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 seasons. You heard what Mikel Obi said about Arjen Robben when he said that after one game he will be like, I'm injured. That's from Mikel's podcast. He'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of and for me, I know when we do this kind of podcast, you just be like want them to be that standard immediately, but it's not easy. You are performing before millions of people. They want you to do it every time. You understand? There are off days. But you need to minimize your off days. You understand? I don't see Boniface different from someone like those kind of in terms of attitude. He's a human being just like Arjen Robben that went to fail at Chelsea, fail at Real Madrid, and became towards the twilight of his career became Arjen Robben, the what you expected of him. They are early bloomers. They are bloomers
I
that will
see.
probably
He has figured it out.
yeah.
Okay.
There are
Let's
people. There are people that will probably make it in their mid 20s. They are steady, very steady risers. There are players that will just come and one, do one good tournament for you, and they are off the radar. And it happens for every team. Like there's a player called Ganzo of Brazil. Did you hear of Ganzo anymore after that tournament? It was
Mm.
Ganzo and Neymar, and Ganzo faded out. Now it's only Neymar you hear. So I think I would like this kind of move. I would personally like for him to make that kind of a move. You understand? And see if he can step up. You understand? So for the under 20,
Sorry,
you
can I
know,
before you go to that 20, can I ask you a question
yeah,
about
go
that?
ahead.
So because I hear what you're saying, and I think I'm also of the belief that like a player doesn't have to go and be a superstar immediately.
Mhm.
But I think what I'm kind of asking is, do you see when you see Victor Boniface, do you see him as somebody that can be a world class player?
Of like 100%.
Mm.
Boniface has the talent to be a world class player. That kind of when you mean world class, I mean world class at Real Madrid level that does it week in week out. Because for me, I consider any player that can play in an international competition like the Champions League and the World Cup, you're already a world. You don't play in those tournaments if you are not good.
Yeah,
If you are
diluting the
not
meaning of world class. So,
no, you don't play in such a tournament if you are not a top 100 athlete in your country at least. You understand?
mm,
And in the world, you understand? It's not that they are expanding the tournament. That's when you will now see some of all those players that don't know how to play. But in the past, you need to show every team that came to the World Cup came with its own kind of football, and it was difficult
mm.
to play any team. You understand? But I think Boniface can be at that level. He needs time. I think even even I know Smith and Chukwueze, but even when you talk about Chukwueze, the talent is there. He needs to show it week in, week out. That's the problem. You
Sorry.
understand? So
Henry, let me ask you a question.
mhm.
What's the difference between Lamine Yamal and Chikwueze?
Lamine Yamal is 17. Lamine Yamal hasn't had. He's still. I hope they manage him well. Lamine Yamal hasn't
What,
had
what was the
injuries.
difference? For example, now he kept on producing on a regular basis. What's now the difference between him? Do you think that in terms of talent, do you think that is that far off from Chukwueze? I don't think so.
When they were 17, Chukwueze is the World Cup winner at under 17, right? So when they were 17, I don't know. Lamine Yamal did not play any under 17 with his mates.
No.
Yeah. So sometimes when you play with your mates, it's different than when you are playing in a competition where you are hyped up, because your mates will not give you room. They will not give you breathing space. It's difficult to show.
I don't
It's
think.
difficult
I
to
think they're
show
giving
talent.
him space in the Euros.
Oh yeah, I would say it. When Messi played at under 20 level, he did not dribble everybody from back to front. You understand? But he was sensible. He scored 2 penalty goals in the final. That's what won them that World Cup at under 20 level. It wasn't super fantastic, but you could see that the talent is there.
Well, it was against Brazil.
At under 23 level.
Yeah, under 20.
Under 20 level, the final was with Nigeria.
No, they played against Brazil before
in this quarterfinal or something.
Yeah, against.
He scored. I think he scored a shot from back.
Yes,
against Brazil.
Against Brazil.
Yeah, but I mean, he did not dazzle, like extremely dazzle.
But
when he played in Barcelona, his first game, official game for Barcelona.
Thank you, Sport Grinder. He's one that killed Brazil.
Yeah, but he killed Brazil also in the other 23 in the next
Olympics. He won.
So see, but what I'm trying to say is this: if you play football before, sometimes you know that when you are hyped up is everything. You understand? Playing for a club that you train with week in, week out, the coach they'll probably understand. They know where to put you. It's different.
What about in Euros?
Yeah, he won the Euros at 16, I think so.
Yeah, 16.
So at 16, so he won the Euros at 16. I mean, I don't know if I'll put them at the same level, but Chukwueze was a World Cup winner with his age grade at under 17. I would not. He did not get the same development as Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal has been playing for Barcelona since 14. Come on, it's different. I wish Chukwueze was playing for a club, like maybe that's the problem. We don't have the platform, but I wish he was playing for a club since 14, and he was showing, and you probably saw that development, and you say, "Oh yes, this guy is." Unfortunately, I would think he's different. I don't want to compare those kind of talent, but I will compare him with other under 17 talents like Cinema Pongo, like those kind. I will other under 17 talents that went through the ranks like
you know that Simon achieved more even that Chukwueze. Like, do you know that despite that Simon wasn't as
which Simon was it? Simon
that wasn't as a big player in under 20. You know, it wasn't.
No, but see, the reality of it is that I don't. 8th grade football is nice. But the reality of it is that it doesn't matter too much because 90% of the players that you watch at these age grade tournaments don't end up becoming stars. Most of them that get hyped as youngsters don't end up making it pro. There's the reason why now some leagues, some countries are developing all these, I don't know what I'll call it, like platforms to help players when they get released or when they no longer have contracts. Because imagine if since you've been 8 years old, they've been telling you that you're the best thing since sliced bread. All of a sudden at 21, you don't have club. And you'll be wondering that I thought I was a superstar. I thought I was supposed to be the next best thing. It's not easy. So 8th grade football, as nice as it is, some people do well because maybe at that age, they are bigger and stronger than everybody their age. So they just dominate. Some people might not do well because maybe they are smaller. They've not yet grown into their man's body. And then at that age, they can't keep up. And then all of a sudden, at 19, at 20, you develop fully. You become faster, become stronger. You've worked on your technique a little bit more. And then you become very good. For me, I think Yamal is a more exceptional talent than Chukwueze was. I think that's the reality. You know, the things that this boy is doing at 17, very, very, very few people have done that kind of thing, if any at all. So I wouldn't really compare them. But going back to what we're talking about with Boniface, see, I hear you. I think Boniface can play well for Real Madrid. You know, my only issue with the potential transfer is that Kylian Mbappe is young. Boniface is young. If he goes there, he cannot bench Mbappe.
True.
cannot bench Mbappe, and he will sit on that bench almost every match. Maybe they will play him in Copa del Rey. They will play him in like the games that don't matter too much. But you're going to be on the bench constant. And even if he develops, let's say he develops over the next 3 years, in the next 3 years, Mbappe would still be at his peak. So by the time Mbappe is getting tired and he'll be dropping the mantle, Boniface too will be dropping the mantle because himself.
I hear that when you know the mantle before Mbappe.
No. I mean, let's not discount Boniface. Let's not discount Boniface already. But they are about, I think Mbappe is 26, Boniface is 24. So they are like the same generation, So for me, instead of him sitting on the bench playing behind Mbappe, I think he can go to maybe Juventus and play, or he can go to another club and actually play.
No, I think he can try his luck. He can try it. I think Real Madrid is good on the resume, no matter what. If you are going to Real Madrid and you play some games, you are still very marketable. That's how I also look at it. It depends on the coach and the type of game he wants to play. I think if Boniface develops as a real number 9, the problem with Kylian Mbappe is when he's playing for Real Madrid is that Mbappe wants to play on the left, but there's Vinicius Junior there. You understand? Mbappe is not a typical number 9, although they are trying to put him like that, he still would come short. Bellingham will go forward. He won't go for those headers, try to hold the ball up like a typical number 9. I think there's an opportunity there for a real number 9. You understand? If guys want to hold up the ball.
What about Hendricks?
The Brazilian kid. That boy has not. Boniface is better than him.
Yeah, he's still developing those kind of players.
Boniface is better than him. That Hendricks boy.
Just hear from
before Mr. Patrick goes. I said it earlier that Mr. Patrick is the one that he always joins when you're about to leave.
Yes.
Boniface, now this is the point that people might disagree with me. Even Boniface might not like it if he hears it, but it's an underrated part of being a Real Madrid player. For me, Boniface does not have the swagger to be a Real Madrid player. I think I'm not saying he cannot play there and do well before people misconstrue me, but you look at the Galacticos, look at the aura that surrounds the players that play for Real Madrid. From from whichever year you want to look at, there's this aura, there's this swagger. You look at all of them, you can see that these are superstars. They have that superstar aura. Osimhen has it, Boniface doesn't have it. It's not. It might not matter how they might still sign him, but when you look at most of their players, they have an aura around them. Even the young ones, the Chouamenis.
But what? Vinicius don't have this aura before.
Chouameni did not have it before too.
Yes,
no, they had it. Obviously, when you come to Real Madrid, it's glow more. You will shine more.
Chouameni could go that before.
He had it. He had this thing in him. It's not just talking
about Camavinga.
Camavinga. Have you seen Camavinga dress up? Have you seen the way he carries himself?
No, I'm talking about when he was in Rennes.
He didn't have the money to do that yet.
Well, Boniface to have the money.
Boniface already has some money. He already has some money.
But he
can be showing it. Let's even say this boy has more. This boy has more aura than Boniface. Tolu Arukodare, and he has less money than Boniface.
How do he has less money?
Well, I mean, maybe from the area of branding, maybe he needs more work. But when you go to those kind of clubs, the first thing is to perform. I think so.
The first thing is to perform.
It's not perform.
They will kick you out the door. So minus everything, you need to come. I remember Mikel. No, I listened to Mikel's podcast. I remember when he said that when he joined Chelsea, he was wearing heavy chain, heavy necklace. But now, I mean, when he started to get the kick up the backside, it's now like, oh boy, I need to play. I need to perform. And I think It's a very tough word now, right? But can I quickly talk about the under-20 so quickly?
Let me just hear from let me hear from you quickly. Quickly talk so I can go to.
Oh no, I said the under-20.
Yes, I talked about that.
They are not exploring. This is my problem with Nigerian football. We have expressed so much optimism from outside the game, but they are not thinking of ways to solve solutions. There are ways they can incorporate the foreign base since they see football as a survivor. You understand? We still see it in Africa, but there are ways to incorporate the foreign.
Sorry, let me just pause you on that. IoT, look at Utayo. Imagine a foreign.
It's not me that said
it. It's not okay.
It's not me that said it. If you go and watch his story today, you will still see something about what this guy is talking about. Real Madrid players don't act like that.
Okay.
Like this is a staff aura that you need.
Okay, continue about the under-20 area. Just support.
So I say, imagine, the under-20 NFF can solve this solution. They can solve the problem of having foreign superstars. There's a lot of diaspora talent, and the fact that the country keeps encouraging people to leave the country, there's even going to be more. You need to think of ways to incorporate them. You understand? It doesn't cost a lot to say, look, let us, just as you are camping for the under-17 in Nigeria, or you bring the youngsters to play a couple of games, it doesn't cost a lot to also fly the coach, fly some of the backroom staff, the medical staff, and maybe one or two key players, maybe if you like, and come to Europe, camp somewhere, and see under-17 stars and play some game and see talent. You need to give them a fighting chance. You can't just from the get-go. This administration, they don't like diaspora people. And the funny thing is that the only pipeline in Nigeria for people in politics is that they send their children abroad to university. So it just blows my mind. You understand? So it blows my mind that these people, if they make so much money, they will send their children to the best universities abroad, and they would not want them to come and play for Nigeria. Like I just don't understand. So is our country a breeding ground for US, Canada, UK? Is that it? Is that what they are trying to encourage? You understand? So for me, they should find a way to solve this problem of having diaspora talent. They know
Exactly, Patrick left.
So they know it's a problem. Just find a solution. Find a solution. That's what I wanted to say. I mean, that's what I wanted to say. Sorry, Kingsley Patrick. I don't know if
thank you, Mr. Kingsley. Thank you.
Sorry. Let me quickly respond to. I think is that Elvon D, the person that said, "Now the same aura way Drenthe Gravison for Bed Getabi." You went to go and look for the most obscure Real Madrid players, the ones that played one season, the ones that played 2 appearances, and rested Drenthe. See, if I say my family were usually tall, does it mean that no short person has ever existed in my family before? No, now. Obviously, like because I say Real Madrid players usually have aura, it does not mean that there has not existed once upon a time a Real Madrid player that did not have aura. But most of the time, the ones that end up being the stars in Real Madrid, there is a glow around them. Just look at it. And even if maybe you might say they didn't have that glow before they joined, as soon as they get there, look at Hendrick. Once Hendrick signed for Real Madrid, the first thing he went to go and do his hair slick back. He went to go and it's like there's just a different energy around them. And I mean, the thing that this guy mentioned about just the way you portray yourself on social
media. Also married a 21-year-old girl.
That one is personal life. But the thing that this guy said about social media as well is something that matters, because at the end of the day, Real Madrid is a big brand. You cannot go to Real Madrid and be posting things that are detrimental to their brand, no matter how little or much you think it is. And that's what I always say about Nigerian players, that a lot of them don't realize it because they are not superstars yet. But once you become a superstar, you have to carry yourself differently now. Like, even Osimhen knows now that there are some things that he cannot share, there's some things that he cannot say or post, because the whole world has eyes on him, So maybe you might say, okay, when he gets there, he will change. Maybe, who knows? But the reality of it is that for all of us that work regular jobs in our life, your employer is not going to say, maybe when he joins us, he will learn how to do this thing. They usually want to know that you can do it already, and then they'll employ you that you have that skill. It's only few that will say, okay, I will teach you to be better.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And
but I like Victor Boniface, man. He's a fantastic player, fantastic talent. This season obviously was down for him, but I'm not going to judge him based on this season. You know,
let's hope that he will come back stronger. So, you know, Mr. Fitzpatrick, are you available? I don't know, maybe you're available. You left. Apologies.
Yeah, I apologize, Victor, probably because
apologies that I have to ask you, but you know, thank you for joining today. I really appreciate you. The list for the Super Eagles will come out next week, so we will see. I think there's 12 home-based players, maybe probably 12 foreign-based players too on the list. So it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be coming. We're gonna be discussing.
Are you still going to watch the game?
For me, go and watch.
You don't want to go and watch Musa's Eagles.
I'm not really expert to go and watch that. It's just if I want to go there, just go and meet people. You know, people have.
Is it Shell that will coach them or another?
Yeah, sure now.
It's Shell. It's going to be. It's in Egypt now. It's going.
If it does not go, they will not pay him salary.
NFL
really do months. You have to work.
That means I heard that Pesero is gone from the.
Who?
Pesero.
Jose Pesero.
Pesero is gone. You are laughing. Okay. No wala. Look, has been sacked. The link is showing Eagle Striker, huh? No.
Oh, that's the link, Mr. Patrick. God wants you to go and watch the ranking video. That's why.
But you know, Mr. Patrick, I don't know. Maybe you have. I don't know. Maybe you can check my speed like IT or Gun Football. Just let me know your handle on Facebook or Instagram so I can actually message you when we actually was started. So, guys, IoT, thank you for your stopping by. Don't forget to go and watch the Nigeria FC, the ET ranks on the ranks. Yeah. I will rank our midfielders. And, you know, I agree with Henry and also Shuba Akbom. Now, I played this video from Omar Katuba that he said that we don't invite these guys at the early age. It is when they become big players, we want them to come. It's going very tough. I've gotten Saka. You know, I know Henry knows that story very well. Saka will play for Nigeria. But because of this mistake, that's what happened. So, Henry, thank you for joining. So, IoT too, thank you for joining. Yeah.
Thank you.
So that is that on the. That is that today on the Friday Night Football Club. So I really actually would appreciate you for your love and for your super chat. Let me just appreciate those actually will send me super chat. So Connect to God sent me super chat. Paul Oloidi super chat. Connect to God again super chat. Ivory, my man, Ivory 10 super chat. KZ super chat. Kelvin Marvel super chat, and also Kelvin Marvel too from the United Arab Emirates, you know, super chat. So, you know, I thank you. I appreciate all of you for your love. You know, I really actually would appreciate you. The list will come out next week. And there's also going to be the decision from South Africa against Lesotho. So we'll come here and discuss everything. It's okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Patrick, you know, you joined late. I've loved to actually bring you on, but I don't know. You came, I was about to bring you, but I don't know what happened again. So thank you for your love. Thank you for your concern. Don't forget to join us during the week for Nigeria FC podcast on Monday, the debates on Tuesday. So thank you. Stay safe and enjoy your weekend.